What is up, and welcome back to another amazing Ask DLF. It's Taco Tuesday, better than Tay-Ow Tuesday that we had last week with Addison. That bum.
Oh, Addison is the best, though.
I love Addison.
The people have demanded, they've demanded that they actually want more Addison. And I don't know, the people should be careful what they wish for because you just might get it.
I think Addison's too good. I think maybe he's a little bit too good at this.
Yes.
Much like our guest today, John Hesterman. What's up, John? Glad to have you.
Hey, thrilled to be here, guys. Always enjoy coming on, hanging out, talking shop.
Yep. Hope you guys are ready for a July 4th celebration coming up around the corner. And I always know right after that, things are about to start heating up with the NFL. So we're getting closer.
Right.
They're already heating up. You don't have to wait. There's already been news today.
Lots to talk about. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope everybody in the comments here had a great week. I believe, like I've said a bunch of times, this is the absolute best chat in the history of YouTube right here. I'm excited to have everybody there. And what this show is, if it's your first time joining us ever, this is an opportunity to ask DLF. We're asking Tyler, John, me, some of the DLF crew that we have rotate through here. It's amazing to get a chance to listen to you guys. I always feel like I get smarter. Hopefully you guys in the chat feel the same. And it's been over a year now that we've been doing this. If you have a question, go ahead and ask it. If you've never asked one, please go ahead, take tonight to go ahead and ask a question. We'd love to hear from you. And if you are a regular, welcome back. We're so excited that you're here with us. You guys ready to get started?
Right on.
All right. Start with a doozy right here. What you guys take on the NIL affecting future draft classes? For instance, if some booster were to pay Bijan $20 million to stay, why wouldn't he stay? That's more in 1 year than he would make in his entire rookie deal. That's an interesting concept. Not something we've faced yet. John, what's your take on that?
That's going to be one of those slippery slopes that I'm sure the first couple are going to be kind of a mess, and then, mistakes will be made, lessons will be learned, and then hopefully things kind of get cleaned up and shored up to something that's more agreeable across the board. So I'm kind of curious to see how that affects things, but I'm not in a hurry to necessarily see it affect things, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Tyler, I wanted to wait on yours because I know you got the degree in a lot of this stuff.
I do.
Go ahead and hit us with it.
Well, I think it's great, right? Why shouldn't these players have the opportunity to make the money that they can earn, right? This is a capitalist society, isn't it? If someone feels that Bijan Robinson should earn $20 million to play college football, why not? I don't see that as a problem at all. Look, everyone in life, and this is always the same thing, they don't like to see change. It's always been this way. We've never had it this way. So we just want to stay the same. And that's why no progress is often made, because people don't want to make changes. So yeah, I don't have any problem with it at all. I don't see it as a problem, but more power to the players, right? That's always what you know me, that's always what I would say. So yeah, I don't see this as an issue at all. And I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, from a fantasy football standpoint, it just would delay us having him for a year, I guess, maybe, is the only...
Never going to be a shortage of good players in the NFL.
Yeah.
Never.
So
there are 32 NFL teams. There are not that many players on those rosters. There's 300, a lot of people in America, and that's not even, everyone in the world that can theoretically play in the NFL. So there's never going to be a problem. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. I think this is going to be a good thing.
Let's see. Yeah, not saying it's likely with Bijan, but some incoming freshman QBs getting $10 million. So a stud like Bijan could as well. Schools like Texas have rich boosters, something to think about as all. Yeah, I guess that's the thing is I guess it's one of those problems you cross when you get to it. And I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem for fantasy football as it will be maybe for other areas that I could see it impact.
It's really no problem. If you're in any other line of work, you can take as much money for what you do at whatever you want, right? You can be paid as much as you earn, as much as your market value deserves. Why should this be any different? I don't really see that as an issue at all. So to me, this is not a problem. We talked about this a lot when I was in school. This was before, obviously, I graduated December 2019. So before the NIL came out, but we talked about this all the time. And I was always like, pay them. I don't care. They should be paid.
Let's go to Raynard's question 10. Team 1 QB PPR start 9. Tyreek Hill or Elijah Moore. A 2023 second and a 24 first. We'll start with that right there. Tyler, what do you think?
It's easy. It's Elijah Moore. You need to get rid of Tyreek Hill now. Get rid of Tyreek Hill now. I talked about this yesterday. I have Tyreek Hill ranked for redraft at wide receiver 11. So if I have him at wide receiver 11 and he finishes at 28 years old at wide receiver 11, what is his dynasty value going to be next year? Wide receiver 20? 25 at 29? I mean, at best, right? So you got to get rid of Tyreek Hill now. This is the best. You're not going to get better than this, are you? I mean, you're going to do better? I don't think so. So, yeah, I just take the offer and move on.
What do you think, John?
I'm kind of in agreement there. Like I'm always that guy that's looking to get the most value I can for a player before that decline happens and affects their price, their value. So in this case, if you can move down in age and kind of capitalize on what his value is currently, I'm for that.
Very good. Oldak, rebuilding team, 14 team, super flex, start 9. Send AJ Brown for Elijah Mitchell, 23 mid first. We can't really know that yet, but let's just assume somewhere mid first, I guess. And a 25 first. This was an initial offer, and I think I probably pushed for more, but I wanted to get your initial thoughts on that. It feels light for AJ Brown to me.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we love 23 first, right? We love that. 14 team superflex though gives more risk, right? I mean, you're adding 2 extra spots, so you add the 113 and the 114 to the range of outcomes, so more risk. So that doesn't make me feel better about the first. So, and 25 first is forever from now. I mean, I still like it. I like the idea of that, but I don't know.
My hang up is the 25 first. Like I don't want to
away.
wait. I don't want to wait 2 seasons to get back something that I'm losing points for now. So waiting that extra year is just a long time to wait on a return on what you're missing. So that's my pause there is the 25.
If it were 223 first, I think even in a 14 team league, I would take it.
Yeah, if it was 223, even a 23 and a 24, that would probably tip the scale. But adding that extra season of 0 points for what you're waiting for is just that extra season is a little much for me.
I don't like waiting. Waiting is just very annoying. I don't like to do that. So.
Right. Amazon Prime. I want it tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like about Amazon Prime. They say it's going to be delivered at X time. And if they don't deliver it, then they give you a free month of your Prime membership. So I like that business model.
As Henry says here, smash that like button. So hopefully you get a good chance with those first few questions to see what this show is about. Go ahead and ask your questions. And like Addison loves it every time you get a like. If the more likes we get, the happier Addison is. And more likely he might be to join us again. I don't know. Who knows? But smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, make sure you go ahead and do that as well. Henry is a legend.
If you want more Addison, demand it in the comments that you want more Addison, and it's more likely to happen.
Everybody wants more Addison.
Yeah, that's true.
In that league where I only have 5 players, I took the Denver and Indy rookie tight ends in round 16. I was offered Calvin Ridley for my 3rd and 4th in 23. Would you take that?
Yes. I mean, a 3rd and a 4th is not relevant. So sure, take Calvin Ridley over a 3rd and a 4th. I don't want that. That doesn't sound so good. So yeah, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah,
John?
Agreed. I don't have anything to add. Yeah, it's Calvin Ridley.
I don't want a Calvin Ridley on my roster.
Neither do I, but I don't. A 3rd and a 4th is not worth anything.
Only because I don't want to lose that open roster spot to be able to add, whatever. Like I might be able to add a couple of backup running backs and flip that into a second next year or something.
Yeah, you might be, but you could. I think you could turn around and sell Calvin Ridley for more than this.
It's possible. Ed says, welcome back, Cal. 2-finger salute to Tyler as always. Taco time. Yep. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate that. Yeah. I missed last week, John, because my 10-year-old, it was his birthday. And so we went out to eat. So it was a lot of fun.
Last week I was not feeling great, but it was still a pretty good show.
Well, then I'm glad you're back and always take time for family. Always. Where'd you eat?
There's a little Mexican restaurant we love that he loves. So he wanted to go there and they sang him happy birthday, all kind of good stuff. So it was fun. We had a great time.
That's the good stuff. Build the memories. That's good stuff.
Absolutely. Ed wants to know who we're selling before they get shoved down depth charts in the coming months. So who do we think is maybe likely to get shoved down some depth charts?
The coming months? What's gonna change? Like who I'm trying to think like who this refers to. Like we probably got to go decently down the rankings for someone who's going to lose value, because players at the top of the rankings aren't going to lose their spot in the depth chart. I mean, kind of looking around at it.
Well, I'll just say, like, in general, I think we start to realize that rookies aren't going to get as much playing time as we thought as it gets closer. Like, some of the rookie goggles start to come off a little bit. And yeah, I definitely think you still could have some opportunity to sell some of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Hassan Haskins is one for sure, because he's allegedly the backup, but that could change. He's not having a great camp or anything. And Julius Chestnut is very popular at the moment. So that's one if you want one.
Yeah. Hard to think about who else. Maybe
Keontae Ingram, when people realize that he's not going to get any playing time at all. I mean, that one. But I already did the value drop. I dropped him 50 spots when they signed Darrell Williams. So I did it already. But maybe some people didn't value that like they should have, because Keontae Ingram's not going to see the field until there's an injury. So I don't have any interest in
that. This is actually a pretty tough one. It's got me thinking, and I like the names Tyler mentioned, but no one like immediately comes to mind as being someone that's going to get shoveled down immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
no one that would still have, like, I guess anybody that we're
Marlon
expecting.
Marlon Mack. I mean, if he loses the job again, the value's done. LaVisca Chenault, when people realize that he's not even going to see the field.
Yeah. But you're not getting much for either one of those.
No, right. But the players who are going to be in this category are going to be the players who are low or already.
Right,
You're unlikely to have someone who's high up in the rankings who's just going to lose their playing time before the season starts, where before the season starts as they're down the depth chart. You had that last year with Blake Jarwin. You knew, if you'd been paying attention, you knew before the season started that Dalton Schultz was going to be the starter. That was very available to you in August. That was out there. So you had something like that there, but it is rare to find that out for sure. Yeah. Like Trey Sermon, people valued him as a starter until week 1. He wasn't. Mm-hmm. He wasn't even that. Right. But we didn't know that.
Yeah, and some of this is what gets built up on the hype that hasn't hit yet. Like, we don't have all of that hype that's built up around some of these players yet, so that can affect ADP later on. So yeah, this is actually a pretty good question, but it's tough to get a clear-cut answer to.
Michael's trying to unload Jacoby Brissett in a 14-team Dynasty Superflex. When, in your opinion, would he hold max value as a trade piece?
The day that the Deshaun Watson suspension comes down.
Right.
Yeah, that day. And I would trade him that day, because I think that they're not going to start Jacoby Brissett, because I feel like they're interested in trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like they're interested in somehow trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're interested in that.
I'm just waiting to see if another NFL quarterback gets in some kind of legal trouble, and I think they can get a discount on him. So,
yeah,
who knows? And then what's reasonable value? Honestly, like, anything you can get is probably
anything you can get. He's not actually worth anything.
Right. And the reason he has any value at all in that format is it's a 14-team Superflex. So that's the only reason he's got a value at all. So take what you can get when you can get it and run.
Bingo. Giddy Up says, hey, fellas, would you take either of these 10 teams? Start 10. Give CD late 23 first for either AJ Brown, Deshaun Watson, Bateman, or AJ Brown, Bateman, Elijah Moore in a third.
I mean, well, AJ Brown. I mean, I would do both of these.
I'm assuming it's not AJ Dillon.
I feel like it has to be AJ Dillon, because it's AJ Brown. These are both smash accepts.
Right.
Absolutely.
If
Yeah,
it's AJ
bit
Dillon,
lopsided both
then I'm
sides,
not
yeah.
doing either. I mean, yeah, if it's AJ Dillon, I'm probably not doing either deal.
Okay, clarify there. Giddy up if it is not AJ.
Yeah,
If
type
it
out
is AJ
full.
Brown,
This is
we'll
like
accept.
pro tip. Type out full names or large amounts of the name, especially with more.
Yeah, AJB would have worked in
Yeah,
this
AJB would
situation.
have helped.
Yeah. All right. Rob, 10-team Superflex, 0.55 PPR.
Yeah, that's
Tyreek
gonna
Hill
work.
or Michael Pittman at 23 second.
It's crazy. This is where we are, but I'll take Michael Pittman in a 23 second.
I was going to say it's going to test your Tyreek Hill trade thing you said earlier.
Even if I had them ranked where ADP does, I would still take Pittman in a 23 second. So
10-team league.
10-team, I'd probably lean Tyreek Hill there.
you'll regret that. You'll regret that in 2 weeks into the season. Like, he's just not going to return. I think you're getting 2017 Tyreek. That's what you're getting. You're getting Alex Smith Tyreek.
Alex Smith Tyreek.
That's what you're getting, right? I mean, who does Tua remind you of? Really? I mean, really? Where you think about it, right? Who does Tua remind you of? A little bit. Actually, a lot bit. Really, almost exactly. I don't know. Seems a lot
Not
like
to me.
2017.
That's me.
No, really, he does.
Tua
I mean,
does
no, he's not. He's not. He's worse. Alex Smith actually was good. Tua hasn't been good. So we'll see if he can become that, but I don't think so. That's what you're getting. You're getting 2017 Tyreek Hill. And that's not a 28-year-old version of that is something you want to get out of in Dynasty right now.
None your business. I like it. 12-team Superflex. Joe Mixon and a 23 third. I assume that's a 23 third. Or Devonta Smith and a 24 first.
Well, it's Mixon, but is that a second or a third? This is 23rd. I guess it's probably a third.
Probably a third. There's an R.
Yeah, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it is Mixon, but I don't make trades like this. So yeah.
I'm leaning Mixon too there. Yeah. In a less replaceable position, yeah, I think that gives Mixon the edge.
I just don't do this. Like, if you won't see me trade away 2 years from now first and Smith just to get Mixon. I won't do that. So I'm probably, I'm not making this trade either way. But if I had to choose, I would pick Mixon. But if I had Smith and a 24 first, I would just keep my 24 first and try to trade Smith for something else instead of doing this. And if I had Mixon, I would want a receiver I like better than Smith and a 23 first.
Grimly, 13, 14, 12 team. And we were finally over the 8 o'clock when we started. I love it. 12 team Superflex PPR. Want to compete, Tony, for Thielen and Ramondre Ramondre slash Rashad White. I'm not sure what
I don't know if that's either or. Is that one or the other?
It doesn't matter. I'll take. I'd rather have Rashad White over Ramondre. But either way, I'll take either of them and Thielen over Tony. So I'm fine with that.
Yep, and we're agreeing a lot tonight, which is rare. But yeah,
why is that rare? I don't feel like you're
no.
someone
I know. I'm just teasing you.
No,
but
Cal. I disagree with Cal. I disagree with Cal probably the most. Addison, I agree more. My co-host on my show is like an agreement fest.
I actually disagree with both of you, and I want Tony in this because
really,
I think Thielen basically doesn't have any value, and like Rashad White and Ramondre both could have zero value. Like that whole side could have no value. I know Tony could too, but like it's a first round pick, it's a wide receiver. Like he's going to continue to have at least some level of value this year, and every time he was on the field and he was getting the ball in his hand,
very interesting.
He was electric.
Actually, you say that right? He's going to continue to have value because he's a first round pick after 2 years. But does Jalen Reagor have value now?
No, but this is not a Jalen Reagor situation. Right? Every time that Tony is on the field, he has been good.
He has produced when he's been on the field, but that win is an awfully small
That
sample
when
size.
is infrequently.
And so then we're predicting injuries, and I just don't want.
Well, no, there were many other things. There were many other things.
Here.
Where was he during the training camp? He wasn't there. He wasn't there during the training camp. Wasn't hurt. He just didn't show up to the training camp. Then this offseason, why didn't he have the playbook? He didn't have the playbook. And then he wanted to be traded away, and the Giants wanted to get rid of him because he's crazy. You don't want Kadarius Toney on your team. Just stay away. Trust me. This is not someone you want. He does not. This is going to be. He's going to flame out of the NFL because he's not. You'll deal with it with Antonio Brown. With Antonio Brown, he's so good that one of the best receivers ever. You'll deal with it. For Kadarius Toney, he's not worth it. He's not worth it for an NFL team to deal with Kadarius Toney. So I would just stay away from Kadarius Toney for me. I'll pass on him. So I have Rachaad White in Dynasty ranked ahead of Kadarius Toney. I do. Because I think that Rachaad White has upside. And he's a running back. If running back hits, he's going to get a lot more value than a receiver who plays about a fourth of the games to the best of his ability. So I'll rather have the other side there. And I'd rather have Rachaad White over Ramondre very easily. They're not close to me.
I'd rather have Rachaad White over Ramondre, and Thielen's still a touchdown upside. So
if you're competing, it's good.
If you want to compete, having that touchdown upside. And Rachaad White is easily one of my favorite, like not top 2 running backs, but easily one of my favorites in the.
Tell me more about that, because he's not one of my favorites, but I want the people to hear that. Why is he one of your favorites?
It's the receiving. He is one of the best receiving backs I've seen in a few years. Easily the best receiving back in this class, in my humble opinion. And paired with a quarterback that is not afraid to hit that in stride, I really, really like the connection that could be. So yeah, he's someone I'm really big on, Rachaad White.
Yeah, to me, he's the second best receiving back in this class.
Who would you have above him?
Breece Hall.
I have Breece Hall as the second, so we've got him flip flopped. But yeah, I
think Breece Hall is the best at everything, so that's why I have him as the best. But Rachaad White would be the second best. And I guess I'm more anti Ramondre Stevenson. I just don't see, that now it's Pierre Strong. And then next year, Damian Harris is leaving, but then another one is coming in. It's not, I don't think you're going to ever be able to consistently start Ramondre Stevenson ever. So I'm just not in on him.
That's fair.
Nicholas says, "What's up, y'all? I got a bunch of questions that are this player, that player."
Those are easy for me. I have my rankings, so I can just read the answer. Don't mind those.
Let's see. I was going to see if I could find one, but
let's just see what comes up. Let's see what
Mark Dinkowski. Hola, amigos. I don't know what HTT is. What's
Happy
HTT?
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
Whoa. John is on fire there.
Open 24 hours. Grade the trade. 12 team, 10 starters, super flex, 1.5 points per reception. Tight end. Gave Dak and AJ Green.
So just Dak.
Right.
This is not a real trade.
Got Zach Wilson, AJ Brown.
This is
a first, a second, third. Wow.
Well, it's the Zach Wilson package, but this is not a real trade. So this is silly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is a full rebuild. Thank you for defining it with picks.
Well, no, actually the rebuild is over. You did do that. You just rebuilt. Your team is now rebuilt. Your team is fixed. The team is fixed. You fixed everything.
He's putting
everything
them in pick order.
Now.
I'm still figuring out the actual picks here because he put them in order of the pick, not order of the year.
23 second and third.
Some people
24 first and second.
But this is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. AJ Brown and a second is about worth Dak.
I know.
The rest of it is I just don't get it.
So yeah, if this is what you got.
Oh, you did a great job.
Yeah.
You did a great job. I just don't understand how this happened.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
TK wrestles. I guess I'm gonna say wrestles.
Probably resells, right?
Resells. Okay.
Yeah.
Greatest show ever. Look forward to it every week. Thank you, TK. Look forward to seeing your comments in there every week. All right, Michael Pittman or DJ Moore?
DJ Moore. It's DJ Moore.
Yep.
I get asked this a lot.
Yep, it's DJ Moore.
I was told that DJ Moore and Darnell Mooney have similar dynasty value. I was like, no.
People are too high.
Thank you. No, people just don't understand that target vacuums go away. That actually applies to both Michael Pittman and Darnell Mooney. But the difference between the two players is that I have confidence in Michael Pittman to be good and Darnell Mooney not so much. Whereas DJ Moore, we know is actually good. He's produced even in situations with lots of target competition and terrible quarterback play. So that's how we know that he's good and is actually earning the targets. Whereas, Pittman didn't have anyone else to compete for them. So.
Yeah, I'm a little lower on Pittman than a lot of the kind of industry consensus. And
I don't know what industry consensus is, but
yeah, so I'm lower on Pittman to begin with. So
yeah, I have him at 18.
That's in the range. I've got him at 24.
Oh, that's really low. I can't see how you have I only see, I don't see anywhere near 20. Yeah, no, I can't. That 24 I can't see, to be honest with you.
Michael Pittman.
My tier does not go to 24 is what I'm saying.
Pittman or Hollywood Brown?
Pittman easily. Hollywood Brown just has no upside compared to Pittman. To me, anyway.
That one's actually close for me. I like Hollywood better than Pittman, but I think Pittman's in a better spot to succeed.
I'm surprised because I just don't. One of those two players screams alpha receiver, could have that upside, whereas the other one is good, not great. I mean, I like Hollywood Brown. I mean, he's good. But if Hollywood Brown is your number one weapon in the offense, your offense is a failure. Your offense can't run that way. You can't function that way. Whereas Michael Pittman could be. Like, he's someone I think could be a wide receiver one, could be the number one weapon on a team. Whereas Hollywood Brown cannot.
I think we're going to get kind of a real idea of that, the first 6 games of this season where we see him operating as that alpha role in that offense. And let's face it, Nuke's not getting any younger. So, I mean, he's kind of stepping into an heir apparent situation with enough time to learn the playbook to make something. So this one's really, really close for me. I'm taking Pittman now. I think Hollywood might be on par for long term.
They're almost the same age.
Pato VM is it worth keeping Kyle Trask one more year for Brady to retire?
I mean,
if you're Kyle Trask's mother, yes.
In most super flex formats with 25 to 30 players rostered, yes. But, to give you an idea, in the super flex tight end premium ranking, I have him ranked 256th overall. So I'm not expecting much.
If you've got a taxi squad, just don't move him off your taxi squad.
Yeah, just keep him there.
I mean, just leave him there until there's a relevant reason to move him. Because once you move him, you've got to make a decision to either cut bait and move on, or just let him occupy a taxi spot.
I will say that if he does not win the backup job at some point during this season, I will just be fine cutting him from my roster.
Right, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'm fine holding him, but I'm not holding on too tight. Rashad Bateman or Elijah Moore?
Elijah Moore against the ADP. Way against the ADP. I'll take Elijah Moore.
That's what I was just looking up. Rashad Bateman at wide receiver 19. He's gone up a lot.
Yeah, so here's my issue with Rashad Bateman. I don't think Rashad Bateman is as good as people think. He has the target vacuum now. He's not going to be the only wide receiver on the relevant wide receiver on the Ravens forever. That's not going to happen. Remember what happened with Hollywood Brown, and then, he was great, and then Bateman came in, and then not so good. And you can make excuses for that if you like, but I do think that they're eventually going to bring in someone else because they have to, right? They have to. You can't function like this forever. So, and when that occurs, I think that Bateman is going to be good, not great, which is kind of always what I thought he was. So Elijah Moore, I think, showed talent that was special. In the 6 games that he played. He was special. And Bateman, I didn't see any special. So I'll go with Elijah Moore.
I would go the other way on this one. I would take Bateman.
I've never been in on Bateman though. So
yeah,
I've always loved Elijah
Bateman.
Moore.
I think him operating as more of a possession style type receiver than like maybe a true alpha or a true target hog. I like that kind of fit for Lamar. Lamar's young enough that I don't have to worry about him going anywhere right away. So in that case, I'm giving Bateman the edge here. I'll take Bateman.
The problem is that Bateman is vulnerable, right? Because you know that if any receiver is brought in ahead of him, he's just dead in the water. He's dead in the water because you know that offense can't support 3. They can't do it. It's not possible. They cannot support 3. Not with Lamar. They cannot do it. So, and Andrews is locked in on a forever contract. Bateman rookie deal goes for 2 more years and then another option. And then, if they bring in a first-round receiver next year who's better than Rashad Bateman, of which there are many in next year's class, many, at least 4 or 5, then Rashad Bateman's value is dead in the water. So, whereas Elijah Moore doesn't carry the same risk because he's not stuck with Lamar.
Man, John?
I'm listening.
I was just curious if you wanted to go back on that.
There's definitely things there that I definitely agree with some of that, but I think that possession style, I don't expect Rashad Bateman to be an alpha wide receiver. I don't think that's in his cards. I don't think that's in his skill set, but I think operating as a possession style guy that in PPR formats you can rely on, I think he's fine right there. Elijah Moore, I like Elijah Moore. I really do. I've got him on a few dynasty squads. I'm holding on tight. I think he's a really talented kid. I want to see development, but I need to see it from him, and I need to see it from his quarterback. Whereas Rashad Bateman feels a little safer to me right now because I know what his quarterback is. I know what to expect from him, and the roles are a little bit more defined right now. So for that reason, for right now, I would operate with Bateman.
And knowing what his quarterback is not an endorsement.
But I know that. That's what I'm saying is like there's still a large range of outcomes for Zach Wilson or whoever else is on the roster. So that's kind of my hang up right now. And I like Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson takes a big step forward this year, but there's still a lot of unknown there that I kind of need to see before I buy.
No, I hear you. We saw it from Elijah Moore. We didn't really see it from Rashad Bateman.
Nicholas Algier or Jalen Tolbert?
Ooh, I have them very close. Actually, no, I don't. Jalen Tolbert for me.
Agreed. Jalen Tolbert.
Same here. Yep. DeAndre Swift and Stephon Diggs or CeeDee Lamb, 23 first and 23 second.
Well, I mean, CeeDee Lamb and DeAndre Swift have identical value to me. So essentially, that's wipe each other out. And then it's really just Diggs for the picks. I mean, Diggs should be worth more than that, but if it's super flex, I get it. If you're rebuilding, I get it. I mean, I get why you would do this. I think you should get a little bit more. If you're going off of the Swift and Diggs side, I think you should be able to get at least another second. But I get it. I get why you would do this. Sorry if that wasn't answering the question, but
no, that was hard. John?
Yeah, I'm still mulling it over. I kind of right now I'd be leaning the Lamb in the picks.
If it's a 1 QB, I'll take the Swift and Diggs, but it's a super flex, so it's closer.
Yeah, I mean, in a vacuum off my hip, I'm going with Lamb in the picks.
I think if this is an offer that I get, like I'm mulling over it for a little while, and it might depend on what my goal is, where my team is, and
Well, sure.
There's some roster construction, identity stuff here that needs to be established, but yeah, this is actually a pretty good offer. It's definitely one to think about.
I think you're right on it in terms of value for sure, and I think I go Lamb in the picks as well, but I could see going the other way if I was closer. So. Mooney or Olave?
Olave.
People have come around on Olave a lot recently, it seems like.
And who has done that?
I don't know. Like
my opinion on Olave has not changed.
Well, sure. But I would have said Tyler, not people.
Right. But maybe what this is saying is that people should think more about their initial opinions instead of just like taking 2 months to come around to them. Because nothing has really changed. So the Chris Olave rank should not have changed, but I noticed that from May to June ADP, it did. it changed almost around.
Mm-hmm.
And that was after Jarvis Landry signed, I believe. So it shouldn't have gone up. So I think people were just overlooking him or for whatever reason. I don't understand. But it's close to the correct answer now. It's easily Chris Olave. Darnell Mooney is a good player, but definitely a sell for me. I don't believe in him long term. And this is your chance.
I go Mooney as well, unfortunately. What about you, John?
Olave.
It's this one isn't close.
Yeah, it's Olave. I like the talent better. I think he's a more complete receiver, whereas Mooney is almost being cast as kind of this one-trick downfield guy. I think Olave is a more complete receiver, and I'm fine with Jameis Winston. So yeah, I'm taking Olave there.
Sons of the Lamb 12 team, Superflex, Titan Premium, Higgins and Swift, or Pitts and Godwin. Ooh, that's a good one.
I will go with Higgins and Swift. Barely.
Yeah,
Very
that one's
close.
really close.
Very close. I'll go with Higgins and Swift, though.
Higgins and Swift is a good get for Pitts and Godwin, but man,
I'll have to go with Higgins and Swift, though, because Godwin is just injured right now. It doesn't look like he's going to be ready in time. So Higgins is more of a safe wide receiver. Big difference between those two. I like Pitts over Swift, but not by as much as Higgins over Godwin. So I'll have to go with Higgins and Swift. It's a good offer, though.
Nicholas crushing it with these either ors. Brandon Ayuk or Sky Moore?
I'm going to go against the ADP and go with Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, me too. I think Brandon Ayuk actually, once he got past that doghouse stuff, he actually wasn't that bad.
Wasn't that bad is actually very much an understatement.
And Sky Moore is such a...
I like Sky Moore, though.
I like him too, but I like him as potential. It's
I'm higher on Sky Moore than his ADP, so I'm not out on him by any means.
Right. What about this one right here? Ayuk or Sky Moore, John?
It's Ayuk. Yeah, I'm a big Ayuk guy. I moved some big pieces in some leagues to land Ayuk. I like the receiver. I think he got kind of a wake up call last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. He's a very, very good receiver. I like Sky Moore too, like Tyler was saying, and this is not anything negative against Sky Moore. It's just right now, give me Ayuk.
Also, remember that Debo has not signed that extension yet.
Correct.
So
Correct.
There's no guarantee that he does, but I expect him to. But it's not guaranteed.
So, like from week 9 on, he was wide receiver 15, which
that's what when you said he was just like when you said he was okay, that's what I was talking about. He was better than okay. Wide receiver 15 would be good if he did that. We'd be very happy.
Right, no doubt. Open 24 hours wants to see your shirt, Tyler.
It's like a flame shirt.
Okay.
Mike's kind of in the way, but I have a lot of cool shirts.
Mine is a DLF shirt, in case you're wondering. Open 24 hours.
Yeah, I wore one of those at some point.
The corn version of the Scott Fish Bowl 11 shirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman or Devonta Smith?
Oh, please.
Please allow me, since I've been hating on Pittman all night, may I have the floor?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll take Pittman here.
It's easily Pittman. It's not Devonta
Tell me
Smith.
why Devonta Smith couldn't be like Marquise Brown last year.
Because AJ Brown exists.
Well, Bateman showed up and
no.
Marquise Brown.
No. AJ Brown is very different from Bateman. AJ Brown is like it's like you're taking Julio Jones is coming in. If you look at the first 3 years, this is very much what it reminds me of. Look at the first 3 years of Julio Jones's career. He didn't really produce the big season, but you knew that was a superstar. You could tell, right? That was a superstar. There were injuries, there were other issues. He didn't put it all together, but you knew. And then year 4, you had the 1,590 something yards, big season at 100 something receptions. It all came together. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. And it's going to take Devonta Smith and unfortunately dump him in the trash bin. And I have Devonta Smith in redraft ranked at, all the way down at wide receiver 37 where he belongs. I feel bad because Devonta Smith, he's good, but he's screwed. Jalen Hurts is almost as bad, if not worse, than Lamar Jackson in a lot. I mean, there's no guarantee. He could be just as bad. Runs as much, and is also, I mean, he didn't really prove much as a passer. He wasn't good. And now we're coming into this year, and AJ Brown, there was no AJ Brown on the Ravens. So yeah, Devonta Smith, I feel bad because he's a pretty talented receiver, but he's so screwed. So he's going to need to get out of there.
There's also not a Mark Andrews. There's not a,
Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown is much worse than Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman. AJ Brown and the combination of AJ Brown and Dallas Goedert is much scarier than the combination of Mark Andrews and Rashad Bateman.
Mark Andrews was awesome. I mean,
I understand that, but AJ Brown is more awesome.
The thing is, AJ Brown complements the deficiencies that Jalen Hurts has. So,
which is that he can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Well, no, it's not that. It's not even that. That's part of it, but it's the low passing volume. Like he's more prone to scramble first. It's a low passing volume. So they bring in a receiver that excels at what? Yards after the catch. Well, there you go. You just solved the problem. So AJ Brown doesn't have to have the high volume to necessarily translate that into high fantasy production. So I think that is going to suppress Devonta Smith a little bit, which, like you said, I like Devonta Smith. I think he's a very good wide receiver, but I think he's going to be suppressed in the current situation unless there's a quarterback change.
It's not even that.
If they put a pass happy Gardner Minshew in there, that's someone that's not afraid to sling it 30 plus times a game, Devonta Smith has a better shot. But right now, as it stands, AJ Brown is going to command the highest target share of that offense, and it wouldn't surprise me if Dallas Goedert's number 2.
You're just going to see what happened in Tennessee again, which is that AJ Brown was the only receiver you could play. That's what we're heading toward. And, the reason why I see some comments, well, Eagles are moving on from Jalen Hurts. No. I think that this is going to go well. The offense focused around AJ Brown and getting what you can out of the running game between Hurts and whatever you can scratch out of Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell, mostly Hurts on the ground. I think that offense is going to succeed. I think it's going to go well. It's just not going to go well for Devonta Smith for fantasy, which is going to be even worse because it worked and he still failed for fantasy. That's the worst part of all of it. So I have no interest in Devonta Smith. And I think that, like Hollywood Brown, at Devonta Smith's first opportunity, he's going to find the door from Philly and get out of there. Just like Hollywood Brown did.
Value? I feel like you could take all.
That's why I'm still in on Devonta Smith in Dynasty. But if you wait,
Brown last year.
Yeah, but if you wait, you can wait for it. Why? This is year 2. You can't. He's not going to go anywhere until at least year 3. You can wait for him to get closer to finding the door, and then now's not the time to buy. This season is going to be bad. So the talent's there, but this season I'm not confident in. So after the season, the bad season comes up. You know what you're going to hear next year, right? Well, Devonta Smith didn't produce anything in his first 2 years. He must be bad. When I'm telling you that he is good, so then you're going to be able to buy him at 70 or 60% of his current price. That's why I don't want Devonta Smith now, because why would I buy an asset that I'm pretty sure is going to decline? You'll have your opportunity to buy him because he's good later, but don't do it now. You're going to lose the value.
I can see about 6 paragraphs worth of stuff in Cal's face right now. So
yes, there is.
So then write the article.
Write
the article on it then. Write the article.
I don't like writing. I like talking.
Well, luckily I like writing, so maybe I'll write the article.
I think every one of us a year ago were saying like the Ravens are going to lead the league in rush attempts. They're going to have the fewest pass attempts, and didn't happen. Like they jumped up like 200 pass attempts for the year last year. Now, is that going to happen?
Because they lost all their running backs.
I don't know if that's going to happen,
right.
But like the things we're so sure of today aren't necessarily, especially when you're thinking about like the environment and the situation. Here's what I know. Devonta Smith is a talented wide receiver that has the ability to draw targets and is a playmaker. And if you add other weapons there, like it's not like the Alabama teams didn't have other wide receivers capable of making plays, and he stood out above them.
He's not that talented. That's the difference. He's not elite though.
He's a Heisman Trophy winning wide receiver.
Well, I mean, he certainly didn't look elite his rookie year was not elite. I mean,
Only because we live in a world where Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson went bonkers. Like,
I understand that.
Without that, like Devonta Smith is a good wide receiver. He had a good rookie year that we would think is on a great trajectory.
Well, I thought he was on a great trajectory, and then
I still think he is.
A nuclear bomb was dropped on him. So the trajectory was suddenly not as good.
I liked him a lot more without AJ Brown. Like I knew they were.
So did I. I was
in
in on him.
Yeah, I knew they were going to bring someone in. I just didn't expect it to be, a complete stud.
Oh, like if they had brought in, let's say they had, instead of trading for AJ Brown, if they had brought in, let's say, picked with that pick Treylon Burks or something along those lines, I saw enough from Devonta Smith to say that he could be better than Treylon Burks, but not AJ Brown. And it is what it is. But again, it's why I'm not selling Devonta Smith for nothing. And why I wouldn't just, why I wouldn't give him away in Dynasty. It's not the right time. Why buy an asset that if I have him ranked and redrafted wide receiver 37, his value is going to decline from where his Dynasty value is now. So why on earth would I, if I believe in the ranks that I made, why I wouldn't buy him now? It's just that simple. That's all.
If we're comparing these two, their rookie seasons, Devonta Smith was better.
I know, but it doesn't matter. Because situation is part of the game.
It is, but situations change, and this is Dynasty. And I just think
it doesn't change that fast, though. That's the thing. It doesn't change that fast.
He did for the Ravens last year. That's what I'm saying. Why can't he be Marquise? Like they brought in Rashad Bateman, everybody's favorite. Oh, he's going to take over. Hollywood's trash. He's gone. He's going to get all the targets. It's going to be the Rashad.
But the difference is
that
Devonta Smith is earlier in his rookie contract. These moves always happen, pretty much always after the third year is when you either commit to the receiver or you move on. So he still has 2 more years of this. So you have time. That's why, because you have time, I'm not as interested.
He's got a lot of history of playing with Jalen Hurts.
That's not going to help.
All right. We'll see. How about David Montgomery? We all agreed not to buy him.
I'm not overly opposed. If he costs the 2023 second, I'll buy him.
That's the thing, is the cost is okay right now for a starting running back that is going to get volume. So I'm not opposed to where his current.
I don't have an issue with him.
Yeah, it's fine. That's about roster construction and what you need. Do you need that volume play? Then yeah, if you can get it for, like Tyler said, like a second, yeah, I'm in.
He's not like Antonio Gibson, who is just hands off for me. I am, or Josh Jacobs. There's another player, just no thank you. But I will take David Montgomery. I have him ranked right at exactly his ADP, essentially. So I will accept having David Montgomery on my team without an overly large complaint.
In a non-tight end premium, would you rather, this is a trade from the Trade Finder, would you rather David Montgomery and Dallas Goedert or J.K. Dobbins?
Ooh. I'll take Montgomery and Goddard, actually.
Non-tight end premium?
I don't want J.K. Dobbins.
I'm taking Dobbins.
Dobbins, I think we're gonna have a big problem because it doesn't look like he's gonna be ready on time. It doesn't look like he's gonna.
Yeah, he might not be ready for the start of the season.
He misses week 1. If he is not ready in week 1, boom, 25% of the value is gone. We're going from a 3rd round starter pick to a 5th, right there. Right, and not even 25, but more. 1/3 of the value is gone. He goes from 3rd round starter pick to a 5th round starter pick in one day if he doesn't play week 1. For me, anyway. And I think the market might even be more aggressive because he's had plenty of time. He has had so much time. He should be ready now. He should be healthy now, but he's not healthy now. So why isn't he healthy now? Why isn't he healthy? So if he's not ready by week 1, that sounds like what happened to Saquon Barkley last year, and we don't want that. It was 3 weeks of not ready, terrible. And then he comes back and then, he's still not really ready. And then another injury. And then he comes back and he still looks like garbage. So I don't, that we don't want to go down that road. So,
all right. Dave Montgomery or Brandon Cooks in a 23 second?
Montgomery.
Montgomery and Alec Pierce or DK Metcalf?
Metcalf.
That one's easy.
Obviously. Yeah, Metcalf.
There's not a lot of straight up one-on-one. Dave Montgomery or Amari Cooper?
Montgomery. Not Cooper.
Gosh, people are trading for Amari Cooper. That's
Cooper's. Go look at Cooper's reception perception from last year. He went from good receiver in 2020 to abysmal. He's terrible. I mean, and I've been saying this all offseason that 2021 Amari Cooper was awful. And, I didn't have any evidence, reception perception to back it up. There's no evidence. I just was like, didn't look like the same player to me. He looked terrible. And the evidence shows that he had lost a step or 17 in this case. So, and the numbers back it up. I mean, he was not good. He was buoyed by a bunch of touchdowns, but the efficiency, the yards were not there. So Amari Cooper to me is borderline. It's starting to become washed up. And if it's with Jacoby Brissett, I don't want Amari Cooper at all. I have him. Honestly, I don't even like my current ranking of him in redraft at wide receiver 27. I really knew he had. Yeah, I would probably rank him outside the top 30.
Hollywood Brown or Chris Godwin?
Godwin is elite. When Godwin's healthy, Godwin's elite.
Agreed.
Hollywood will never be elite.
Sky Moore over. This is Oops before I answer the question. And Pittman over Devontae. Okay, super flex. Here we go. Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence?
Well, it's not Justin Fields. So Trevor Lawrence.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is likely to find himself with a different job in 2023. The way we're going. But
in all honesty, I kind of hope that happens. I would like to see him go somewhere that wants to build around him a little bit more. And try to build him up, because the raw talent that guy has. I watched a lot of college tape on both of these guys, and the raw talent that Justin Fields has is.
So we'll put you to the test.
More than Lawrence.
Who was the last quarterback? Name anyone. Try to find one from my lifetime, which is 27 years, who failed, who their team got rid of them on their rookie deal, got rid of them, and then for someone else, and then they became a good NFL quarterback. Can you come up with any?
What?
No.
Any of them. We have done this exercise before. Any quarterback who washed out of their rookie deal on their first team and then went on to a good NFL career. Can you name one?
But we're not there on either one of these quarterbacks.
Well, we're going to get there. I will tell you that if the Bears have a top 3 pick, Justin Fields is out the door. Whereas Trevor Lawrence will get another chance no matter what, because he's Trevor Lawrence. So there is extreme risk with Justin Fields, and I don't want him.
I'm looking something up here real quick. Bear with me, because the numbers are close in my head, but they're not exact. So bear with me just a moment.
But yeah, no, the risk with Justin Fields is very high. I don't want any part of him.
I agree with you that I want Lawrence, but it's more because I am high on Lawrence.
I am also high on Lawrence, but yeah, I'm out on Fields completely.
And I agree his value is probably more insulated.
Well, his value is more insulated for the NFL. Because like I said, if the Bears are the number 1 overall pick, Justin Fields is done for them. He'll be on a different club.
The biggest pause between choosing between these two, because I like the athleticism, that the legs that Fields has and that instinct he has gives you a really safe Konami code type of floor, and I like that. Mm-hmm. But that being said, the difference in the way that things are being handled right now is in favor of Trevor Lawrence. That team spent some money to try to put some stuff around him. They tried to give him weapons. These are all things that the Bears did not do. So, I mean, for that reason, I can see the argument here for Lawrence. As a player that strictly in terms of fantasy value, assuming competence behind the plays, I would take Fields.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there's incompetence. The problem is that as bad as the Jaguars ownership suite is, the Bears is even worse. Mm-hmm. They have the worst ownership suite in the entire NFL. And I would not want to be a part of that team. I mean, they took an incompetent Ryan as their GM and an incompetent Matt as their head coach and replaced them with another incompetent Ryan and an incompetent Matt. And they thought that was changed. And they've changed nothing. They did
nothing. Are we saying that just because they don't have wide receivers? Why didn't they acquire any wide receivers? They did not put their young quarterback, second-year quarterback, in any position to succeed. How can you say? It's a good question of why didn't they feel like they needed to, but I don't think we have the answer yet.
Oh, I know the answer. It's because they're incompetent.
They did. That's the problem, is they did acquire wide receivers. They went cherry picking off the waiver wire, just like we do in Dynasty.
Yeah, and that's not going to solve anything. They needed to make a real legitimate investment at the wide receiver position. They didn't do that. So now they're going to pay the price. That's what they're going to do. They're going to pay the price, and they're going to stunt the development of their young quarterback that they, by the way, traded a future first-round pick to acquire, and they're not going to give that quarterback a legitimate chance. I don't dislike Justin Fields at all. It's all because of the situation that he's been put in, and now we're here. And I have to not like him because of what I said. If the Bears are a top 3 pick, Justin Fields will not be their 2023 quarterback. It's that simple.
Like, Belichick's pretty smart, and he didn't go out and acquire a bunch of big name free agent wide receivers.
But they have at least they have something. At least they did something. I mean, they acquired Devontae Parker. That's something. The Bears did nothing. Nothing.
So you'd feel better about
what if Darnell Mooney gets hurt? What if Darnell Mooney gets hurt?
Parker?
Injuries happen. What if Darnell Mooney gets hurt? Then wide receiver 1 is what? Velus Jones? Equanimous St. Brown? Kyron Pringle, who was arrested for drag racing, and who knows how much of the season he's going to play? They don't have any depth, but the injuries, happen. There are issues that happen. People miss games. You can't have an NFL team without depth. At least the Patriots have depth. They have plans if there's an injury. If someone isn't playing well, they can go to another player. The Bears have nothing. They did not prepare for this season, and they're going to pay the price for that.
Speaking of the Patriots, Tua or Mac Jones?
I'll take Tua. I'll take Tua here, mostly for the slightly more upside. And the part of me feels like someone with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill can't fail unless you're absolutely horrible. And I don't think Tua is absolutely horrible. I think he's Alex Smith, who ended up being fine. So I'll take Tua.
I'm going with the lefty.
Yeah, me too. Thoughts on Hayden Hurst in Cincinnati?
Not worth our time. If you want my honest thoughts, that's what I think about him. The only thing I care about Hayden Hurst really has nothing to do with Hayden Hurst on the field. The only thing I care about Hayden Hurst is that he is a very strong advocate for mental health. He does a really good job with his podathon and raising awareness, suicide awareness of mental health. And he really does a lot of great things in that area. And he's really made a big difference in a lot of people's lives for charity and all of that. So for all of that, I give, and he has a great story if you want to look it up. Take a look at his background and what he went through. I think that's great. But Hayden Hurst, the NFL player, is irrelevant for our fantasy purposes. But as a person, he is someone I have a lot of respect for.
Outside of tight end premium, it's not. Once you get outside of the top,
even
10,
in tight end premium,
it's not
relevant.
Yeah, the point differential is so narrow.
Hayden Hurst is a blocker and a good one, but fantasy no.
Brandon Ayuk or Gabriel Davis?
Ayuk, barely.
Ayuk.
Yeah.
Ayukin.
ADP is against us, by the way, on that.
Derek Carr or Kirk Cousins?
Carr. Easily, actually. I don't have him close.
Yeah, I want Carr.
Yeah, I want Carr too. I just stop and think about it. I mean, you're making me pick someone from the division, so come on. Give me a couple seconds to process, all right?
Give me the years. Give me the years with Carr. Give me the years. Cousins, you're already starting to turn the clock on the years. We turned 34 in August. That's when I start to kind of wake up to a quarterback aging. Maybe at 34, I start to take a look, whereas Carr is just 31. So I'm not there on the age with him yet. So that's just even, and I have Carr ranked ahead in redraft anyway. So no reason why I would prefer Cousins. So I'll take Carr.
I think Carr could be chasing a lot of points this year too.
Carr is a lot.
I was just going to say the same thing. Like, he's playing in one of the most stout divisions in the NFL. Like, if he's got a chance, he's going to be slinging it nonstop.
Yeah, but that's less important. It's more that in Superflex, we want neither of these guys are going to be anything better than the quarterback 10 or 11 at best. And because they don't run. And you just want the guy who you think has more years in that case. And that's Carr, who has a longer contract, who's younger, who has better weapons, in a better situation. So I would go with, for those reasons, I'll go Carr.
Open 24 hours, 12 teams, start 10, PPR, Superflex, 1.5 tight end. Give Michael Thomas to get AJ Dillon and a 24 second.
Oh, you can do that. I mean, I'd be surprised if you could actually do that. Like, AJ Dillon is worth more than Michael Thomas.
It's a great sell of Michael Thomas.
Yeah. If you can unload Michael Thomas and get that in a return, I'd take it.
Of course, but Dillon is worth more. I find it hard to believe that this deal actually is out there in most leagues, but I obviously take it.
Sean traded the 107 and 201 for Diggs and DJ Chark on a contender. Ended up being Garrett Wilson and Jahan. Oh, Garrett Wilson at 107. Wow.
Yeah. So when you put the names, I'll take Garrett Wilson and Jahan Dotson. But
yeah, I would too.
If it had been, what I would have had at 107, then I would have taken the Diggs side.
Yeah, because I guess you would have been expecting to get maybe.
Yeah, for me, I would have been expecting at 107 probably Chris Olave for me, or Kenny Pickett in Superflex. And if it were that, I would prefer the Diggs side. Yeah. If it were that, I would prefer the Diggs side. But it's not, so I'll take for the players listed, I'll take the Wilson and Dotson side. I did record a short video today about Terry McLaurin's extension, and I did say that Jahan Dotson lost a significant amount of value. I know Addison published his Jahan Dotson video today, which I did watch. That was before the McLaurin extension. And for me, I dropped Jahan Dotson from wide receiver 36 in Dynasty to wide receiver 41. So a decent sized drop, actually, on that McLaurin extension news. But even so, I'll still take Wilson and Dotson here.
DeAndre Swift or Najee Harris?
I'll take Swift. But that's definitely not popular.
Yeah. I'd probably go with Najee here, but it's really, really close. I'm still in the middle of an article talking about stats that won't repeat this year. So I'm doing some real I'm talking some historical deep dives on different things. And it's really kind of shifted how I view Najee, but I don't know. No, I'd probably go with Swift. I'd probably take the immediate value.
Yeah, Najee Harris.
I think Swift could finish this year. I mean, realistically, he's a dark horse candidate for me for RB1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dark horse.
Yeah, but it's within the realm of possibility. It's not just a hot take for the sake of a hot take.
It's not a hot take.
It could happen.
It's not a hot take. He's one of 7 players who could really do it to me.
And I feel like Najee is being overdrafted right now based on the volume he got last year, and I don't think we can count on that going forward.
Well, there's no one else, so he is going to get the volume.
And with Swift, you actually get the younger player.
Yeah, that's why it's Swift for me.
True
and also
too.
the receiving skill set's going to age better.
Najee next year at this time will be the same age that Saquon is right now.
No, Najee Harris reminds me a little bit of.
That's crazy.
You could have, let's say you could have one, DeAndre Swift could age more like an Alvin Kamara or an Austin Eckler, and Najee Harris could age more like an Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
So since Najee's already older, I'll lean the guy that I think is going to give you, because I think Swift could give you multiple more years than Najee. Swift's skill set is going to age a lot better than Najee Harris's. Najee Harris is not going to give you 6 years. He's going to give you at most 4 at good production.
Dobbins or Ken Walker?
Walker. I don't. Dobbins.
Kenny Walker.
Is it officially Ken now? Like that got changed.
DLF still has him as Kenneth.
That got changed abruptly on a lot of the platforms.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To Ken. So is it officially Ken? Is that something he said? Did I miss that?
I don't think he said anything. I don't know what he said, but
so it changed on the platforms. It went from Kenneth Walker the third or whatever it was to.
Yeah, he wants to be Ken. He wants to be called Ken Walker.
Maybe that's what it is. Then okay, all right.
So Ken Walker. I still think Kenneth Walker is much better, but whatever.
Nobody walks around saying everybody's first and last name, and that's why I think you have to think about it as just a first name. And I'd probably rather be Ken than Kenneth.
Either way, it's Walker over Dobbins, because Dobbins is just not looking so good right now.
This would be a tough one for me, but I would probably go with Ken Walker, although I'm a little scared away by the limited college production. But after seeing what Dobbins has done, I don't know. That's close for me. I'd probably take Walker.
Was Walker's college production really that bad?
It wasn't that it was that bad. It's that
Walker.
it was that limited. He had 1 year of being the dude and doing really well with it. And I don't want to take anything away from that. But Dobbins had, more sustained, trackable, production.
Yeah,
profile.
but that was before his
as a
ACL
rookie.
tear.
That was before his ACL tear, and that was, we saw what he did as a rookie. So we've got actual NFL stats to glean there. So I'd probably lean Walker here.
Did we ever do this? I don't think so, right?
No, but I'm glad you remembered and pulled it up.
Yeah.
Jalen
Oopsie.
Hurts and Najee
Sorry.
for 323 first.
Hurts and Najee are worth more than that, I would say. In a super flex.
Get more for that if it's a super flex, yeah.
In a super flex, I mean,
yep. Mm-hmm.
They're worth, each of those two players is worth about 2 to me or so. Yeah, it's not worth more than
And if your current QBs are Watson and Wilson, you're going to miss one of those for what we're assuming to be at least a year. So,
yeah, well, if you're acquiring Jalen Hurts and Najee for this, then you might need it.
Right.
I'm not sure what he's asking, but.
Yeah, I sort of think, yeah, you're right. I guess I don't know which side of this you're on.
Probably not how I would spend my 323 firsts, but I'm okay with it. Like, the value's on that side with Hurts and Najee. I feel like we had a similar question to this before. Not 100% sure.
To me, this is very easily Hurts and Najee.
Yeah, I mean, that's the side I would take. So
yeah, that's the side I would take too, because there's just too many questions there with Watson and Wilson. So yeah, I'm going with Hurts, Najee, and the picks.
If it was 4 first,
that's starting to get a little much. Risky.
Then that gets more interesting to me. But
yeah, it's risky.
Yeah, Hurts and Najee.
Yep. What are you trading for Godwin? Hutch said less than a 23 first, but doubt that's possible. People still love him, and rightly so. What about Godwin? What do you think? I'm a little nervous that he ends up. This is just kind of a lost year for him.
I hope not. I would try to get him for less than. I'm the one who said to try to pay less than the 23 first, not Hutch. But maybe he agreed with me. But yeah, I mean, I would try to buy him on the super cheap, right?
Here's some from the Dynasty Trade Finder: Godwin or the 103.
I'll take the 103.
That's 23, right?
22.
Yeah,
22.
22.
Because I assume they wouldn't know it was 103 if it was 23.
Yeah, I'll probably take the 103. It's close, though.
I'd probably still go Godwin there.
Okay, Godwin or Gabe Davis in the 202. Yeah, that's
Godwin.
If you can turn Gabe Davis in the 202 into Chris Godwin, that is.
I love that.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm all over that side.
Absolutely. What if it was Mooney in the 202 for Godwin?
Godwin, still.
I'm with you on that.
It's still
closer,
Godwin.
though. That's closer, though.
I'm with you on that. Yep. I think that's what I would be trying to do. Take a second round pick, add in one of those types of wide receivers. Amon-Ra? What about Amon-Ra?
It's actually closer with
Amon-Ra.
Mooney than it is with
That's
Amon-Ra
closer than with Mooney. We're in the 202.
Mm-hmm.
I might take that, but that's close. That's very close. That's about right.
I like it. None Your Business is back. 12 team. Where'd you go, None Your Business? You need to tell us. 12 team Superflex. Jared Goff, Claypool, and 23 second, or 23 first and 23 third.
Well, just give me the 23 first. Yeah, I don't want the. Oh, sorry for that yawn there. Give me the 23 first.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Agreed.
23 first in that case too. I don't need another stopgap quarterback clogging stuff up.
Randy, wait.
All right.
I guess we'll go with that. How to do with my draft Sunday? It's 14 team Superflex, non-tight premium. Got Drake London at 103, Jameson Williams 110, Jahan Dotson 202, Brian Robinson 203, Algier 208, Justin Ross 314.
All right. London at 103 is fine. Jameson Williams at 110 is an A. Jahan Dotson at 202 and a 14 team is also an A.
Great.
Brian Robinson at 203 is fine, I guess. That's like a B minus. Tyler Algier at 208 and a 14 team. I guess that's also okay. I think it's around. No, that's still a little high for him. So I'll give that a C. And then Justin Ross at 314. What's that? 42nd overall. That's quite a bit higher than I have him. So I'll give that a C as well.
That's higher than I have Ross too. That's the only one I look at that immediately went, that seems a little out. But the rest of them I like. I like Jameson Williams at the 110. I like the Hodson, at the top of the second.
Yeah, Jameson Williams is by far the best value here.
Yeah, I think Jameson Williams is a great grab at 110. So good job with that for sure. That's pretty solid. I feel like Justin Ross is the only one that's kind of a reach there. Like, other than that, I'm fine with all of it. I want to know who else was available, like who else was on the board at 314. But good draft.
I want to know that about 208 because I haven't had a moment where I have 0 shares of Tyler Algier because I have not had a moment where he was the person on the board that I liked the most.
I don't really.
He's always gone before somebody always likes him more than I do.
Because he's one of those opportunity-only players. So.
Yeah, it's an opportunity thing, and I did the rookie update on Algier, and
did you?
Yeah, I did, and I put in there, he's got to submit himself as being a capable goal line guy to return value and where he's going right now, and that's how I feel about him. It's an opportunity thing only right now, and I just don't see him as being a long-term option. So he's someone that I'm kind of I've got a few shares sprinkled here and there where he fell, but I'm hoping get a good few games or a good half of the season where he's got some goal line work and sell him for something for next year. So
even the opportunity though, like you've got Mariota as the quarterback. It's not going to be a great team. Like
I mentioned that in that rookie update, like you've got 2 quarterbacks that are both dual threat guys that are willing to take that plunge on the goal line. How many are going to get vultured? Like, unless you come out and you can cement yourself as being that dude in the goal line, then I don't see it.
Well, I think this is telling the people that they should subscribe to DLF so they can read that article. I think that's the takeaway from this discussion.
It's a good article, well written.
How about a Steelers D, like a team defense question here? Tyler Algier or Steelers D? He got Algier for Ravens D. Should you flip it into the Steelers D?
No, don't.
Probably
care.
not.
Stop playing.
I haven't had a Dynasty
I never
DST question.
I know, me neither.
Ever.
That's why I love
Stop playing Dynasty leagues with DST. DST doesn't make any sense in Dynasty. It's silly. If you want to have defense in your Dynasty league, play IDP.
I can't
help you. I can't help you with IDP. I dislike it, but play IDP. Get defensive.
I don't play IDP. There are people that do, and I see the appeal, but I don't personally play it. So I can't give you any.
I can't help you with IDP.
I can point you to people that know.
So can I.
But that's the end of my involvement there. But yeah,
get Team DST out of your Dynasty.
Team DST does not belong in Dynasty.
I did a 2.5-hour show with IDP Nation last week talking about the defensive rookies.
Did you?
I love it. It was a lot of fun. Great show. Patrick Sally, as a contender, would you be comfortable with CMC, Akers, ETN, and Walker as your running back room? Any suggestions on who to move and for what?
I'm comfortable with that.
I'm good with it.
Plenty comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Cal, I heard you on another show recently. I listened to this week's Dynasty Game Night.
Yeah.
I had Trayvon Wesco in my back pocket for the Jets. I would have crushed you guys.
I pulled a couple of them out of my pocket there.
John Hightower. I had that one.
Hightower, yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, but I would have
missed that. I
would have absolutely crushed you guys.
Bo
in that
Bo
name
was
game.
Good. He did.
I would have taken him down. You hear that, Bo? You hear that? I would have taken you down. I won my only appearance on Dynasty Game Night. I won. I crushed Addison on the Steelers. On the Steelers players, Addison still lost.
Tyreek's value will increase next year if Dolphins get an upgrade. I don't think there's any chance that Tyreek's value increases, but it really is just his age.
Zero chance.
Yeah,
zero chance. He's already 28. He's not going to increase going from 28 to 29. So,
nope. Could he get more fantasy points the next year? Sure, but that's a different question.
The same thing.
Yeah,
no chance. Jalen Waddle's also still there and not going anywhere. So, no.
That's right. Hey guys, how do you see McLaurin resigning affecting Dotson's
already
value?
Answered
a little bit about this
yes,
already.
We did. Yes,
already answered it.
Trogdor
36 to 41.
Trogdor, please, if you're on Twitter, go follow me on Twitter. I just love the dadgum name, so I totally get it. I know where it comes from.
I do know who Trogdor is, so
Okay.
I will pass the message along.
Yeah, for sure. Follow me on Twitter. I love the name, and you've got the doodle. I love it. I just love it.
Find me, go on YouTube and search Tyler the Fantasy Creator. You will find my short 60-second video on this, and it would make me very happy if you subscribe to that channel. Just as happy as Addison is when you like these videos.
Sounds Lamb clarifying. Just in other words, what happens if with a supposedly 23 class? But the thing is, like, this can happen with any class where somebody could stay for any reason, whether it's NIL or whatever. Right. But it just pushes more value to the next season. I don't know that it. I don't know that I'm doing anything different on the maybe that could happen.
Yeah, I'm not changing anything.
Pato, Sleeper Stash, Terrace Marshall, Cade Addison, Velas Jones, or Tommy Trimble.
I got one name there.
Terrence,
Cade Addison's the only one I have really any interest
Terrace
in.
Marshall. You're gonna see an article from me about Terrace Marshall very soon.
I think it's Marshall for me too, only because I feel like he's the only one that I can see out of this that you're like excited to have on your roster, like on his best case scenario. Like if he reaches his top range of outcomes, I don't know if Cade Addison is ever going to be like a.
Well, once you get outside of the top 4 or 5 tight ends, no one cares anyway, but that doesn't mean there's not a little bit of value to be gleaned there. But he's the only name on this list that, like, I don't see it with Terrace Marshall, but I will gladly read the article and hope you can change my mind, but I just don't see it with Terrace Marshall.
To be fair, I did say in the article that I hated Terrace Marshall, but that I like ADPs, not just players.
That's fair. That's fair.
Really, I don't want to spoil too much of the article. Also,
for sure.
there's a link to the Terry McLaurin short, and that's my YouTube channel. So go find it.
Really Truther tells us we rock, you rock. Really Truther, appreciate it. Also in a vacuum on a 12-team Superflex PPR contender, what are you sending for AJ Brown? Seen some very cheap deals for him lately.
I would love to trade for AJ Brown.
Yeah, I'd like to know what you mean by cheap deals. I'm interested in that. Can you, Cal? Do you have
we've got a trade?
You have the trade finder up?
DynastyLeagueFootball.com, which everyone should go check out. The Betsperts Bundle, where you can get access to DLF 4for4, Fantasy Life, and Betsperts, all for a great low price of $99.99 per year.
Trade Finder is one of those tools that you can use all the time to help assist with stuff like this. A very underrated, underused tool. Cal's been using it throughout the show, so if you're not already a subscriber, that's one of the things you can use throughout the season, not to mention the team import function.
I use it in my articles.
For sure, I do too.
Okay, boy, these are all over the map. AJ Brown or Stephon Diggs? So easily AJ Brown. Yeah.
AJ
Brown. That has a lot of he's in big deals. Okay, AJ Brown and Kareem Hunt or Elijah Mitchell and Gabe Davis. Wow.
I don't need Kareem Hunt.
Right.
Kareem Hunt could be on the other side. I would still take AJ Brown.
Yeah, me too.
Agreed.
Trying to find one. Okay, AJ Brown or Ramondre Stevenson, Michael Gallup, and Terry McLaurin. None of these are very close.
Yeah, AJ Brown. Come on.
You might be right. I mean, it might be time to go try to get AJ Brown.
Oh, it is. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I'm seeing some deals there that are really really eyebrow raising. So as soon as I log off of here, I'm gonna go make some offers.
Do it.
I'm gonna go make offers for Devonta Smith.
Yeah, don't do
that.
Of
course you are. You screenshot me in the DMs. I want to see it.
Older wide receiver questions for Dynasty. Here we go. Stephon Diggs or Devontae Adams?
Stephon Diggs.
I'm going with Diggs there too.
Yeah. Debo or Tyreek Hill?
Debo.
Debo's not an older wide receiver.
No,
he's not older. He's 26.
Well, let me finish that. Adams or Cup?
Cup, easily.
Cup. All right. Kid Coop, 8-man league, start 8. Have the 102, 106, and 202. Need difference makers. to get into my starting lineup by 2023. Assuming no trades, who would you be looking at in those spots?
I mean, I would take Walker at 102, and then whoever falls at the other spots, take best player available. I mean, I have my rankings on.
So 106 would be like Treylon Burks or possibly Drake London there. 202.
110 though.
Yeah, that would be the 110.
8-man league.
I wouldn't. I just take the best player available at each spot. I mean,
at that
110
point,
for me right now is James Cook, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, best player available is
it's always what you do.
Right move there.
Let's see. Dallas Goedert or Pat Freiermuth?
Dallas Goedert.
Goedert.
Closer than it was, but still Dallas Goedert.
Yeah, I like Freiermuth, but it's Goedert.
Schultz or Goddard?
Long-term Goddard, short-term Schultz.
I'll take Goddard.
Calvin was not here last week. He don't know the map at PC. I drafted
Addison had a lot of commentary on this.
Wow. 3 players in 15 rounds.
We talked through all of this. It was actually kind of a cool segment, but yeah, we don't need to go through it again.
All right.
I don't know what this refers to.
This is just telling me his league settings. Okay, cool.
Oh my God, there's more.
Randy, wait. Am I contender or pretender? 14-team PPR. He's got Hurts, Zach Wilson, Wentz, Mariota, his running backs, JT, Damian Harris, Brian Robinson, Algier. Wide receivers has Elijah Moore, Drake London, J-Mo Dotson, tight ends Pitts.
This is a contender. In a 14-team, this is a contender. Quarterback is a little weak, but it's a 14-team, you're going to have a weakness somewhere. So I would say this is a contender.
Yeah, I think this is a good squad to roll out.
Chase, I mean, this is a contender.
Oh, I missed Chase. Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, you missed that one.
Yeah.
This is definitely a contender.
Then yes, absolutely. You're doing great.
Yeah.
AJ Dillon or James Cook?
AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon actually has upside compared to James Cook.
AJ Dillon by 1 million.
Yep, it's AJ Dillon.
Those quads, though. Also, go back. Speaking of players that I really respect, AJ Dillon was really kind on Twitter.
Yes, he was. I saw this.
You saw brilliant. That?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I quote tweeted
it hit me
him.
right in the feels. Yeah, that is so great.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to put the words to describe what he did, but he was just basically congratulating a gay couple on being married, and someone from the fantasy community. So I just thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I enjoyed seeing that too. I saw the same thing, and him just.
I quote tweeted him with a crown emoji.
Yeah, just I put it out there too. I said AJ Dillon, good people. I mean that was awesome. I saw it. Good stuff.
Love it. Let's see, Michael Carter or Isaiah Spiller?
Ooh, I have these two ranked pretty close.
I'm actually going to go with Spiller here.
I have Carter ranked higher, but I don't like that. Carter is a better player, but
to kind of get into why is the Chargers have been they don't want Eckler running 200 plus times. They don't. They want him to be used in the passing game. They want to get some longevity out of him. They did not want to thrust him into that role, but the last 2 draft picks they've had just haven't panned out. They're looking for that guy that can assist between the tackles, that can assist in goal line situations. And so for that reason, I think Spiller's going to have some immediate value, and I think he can contribute in that fashion. The passing game, the passing down stuff is locked up. That's Eckler. Yeah. So I think Spiller does have an opportunity here. It's about what he can do with it, because we saw that from Larry Roundtree. We saw it from, what's his face from the year before?
Joshua Fumble.
Yeah, Joshua Fumble. That's good enough. So yeah, I think Spiller might have a shot here.
And
Cal,
Justin
do you remember
the year before, even right?
Cal, do you remember how much time we spent discussing Larry Roundtree, Joshua Fumble, and Justin Jackson?
Do you remember how dismissive I was of all of that? Larry Roundtree was a 1% athlete in the NFL.
I thought he had a good opportunity.
Yeah, I hated that draft pick when it happened. I mean, obviously I'm invested.
Oh yeah,
And
you're Chargers fan.
so when I saw that draft pick, I'm like,
Aw,
you've got to be
damn.
kidding me. I'd have taken anybody but Larry Roundtree there. But yeah, the Spiller one I actually kind of liked where they got him. You know, he slipped
was a
down
good
the boards
value.
quite a bit. Yeah, I think it was a good value pick, and I think he can fill that role better than anybody they've drafted over the last couple of seasons. So I'm giving Spiller the slight edge here based on perceived opportunity.
Larry Roundtree, his speed score is the 9th percentile. His birth score, the 5th percentile.
That means like the 5th best, right?
No, like 95% of all running backs are scoring higher than him.
No, that's not so good then. I don't know.
Not so good there.
Not
Mr.
so
Roundtree.
good.
I mean, Larry, if you're listening, and I know you're a big time fan of what we do here, so Roundtree,
Hey,
if you're
he had
listening,
listened last summer, he would have been a big fan of my work. He would have really liked my work on this show if he listened last summer.
just saying congrats on making it to the NFL and
Yeah.
save your money. That's all I'm saying.
But yes, I like Spiller, and I think you're like similar situations. Like, I guess both are probably just handcuffs.
Yeah, I'd rather have Michael Carter because they're both picked in the 4th round, and I know already that Michael Carter's good in the NFL.
Yeah.
Whereas Isaiah Spiller, I don't know. He could be bad.
Would you send a random third for Gronk in a very high tight end premium league?
No, I actually think Gronk is done. I really do.
I think he's done. He's not coming back again.
Yeah, I think
He might, but I'm still not doing this.
Khalil Herbert or Kenneth Gainwell?
Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, I kind of lean Herbert there too. I want to say Gainwell because I like Gainwell a lot coming in last year. I didn't see enough to be overly excited, and there's not enough passing downs there for me to be excited about it. So I kind of lean Herbert because Herbert, when Herbert got the opportunity, they gave him a workhorse role, and he bludgeoned with it. He was awesome. So I'm giving the edge to Herbert.
It's funny because the ADP has Gainwell 20 spots higher, and I have Herbert 20 spots higher. So I'm against the ADP, and I also just kind of feel like Kenneth Gainwell had a role at the beginning, and then that role was taken away. That's not good. That's never good. That's as a rookie running back, that's like a death sentence. So
yeah, in fact, now that you say that, if I remember correctly, because I was doing a lot of DFS stuff last season, I think there was a couple weeks there where he was just declared inactive. He was just a healthy scratch for no good.
I'm not sure, but I mean, he has 16 games played, so at most there was 1 week, but you might be thinking of the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had he had like a decent snap share for the first 3 weeks. He was like in the 30s, and then he didn't really over the last 3. There was a period he had that scratch, and then he was less than 20% for 4 out of 5 weeks. And then, he finally saw some playing time in the last game of the season where they were resting their starters. So,
right.
Yeah, he was kind of phased out over the year, which is just not a good sign. I'll take Khalil Herbert just in case.
I'm taking Herbert there too.
JJ and 24 second or Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Justin Jefferson. Sorry. Garrett Wilson, AJ Dillon, late 23 first and 23 second.
Yeah, it's just not enough for Justin Jefferson. This is all good, but it's just not enough. There's a first missing on that side.
Right. I agree.
Devin Singletary or Ramondre Stevenson?
It's close. I'll lean Ramondre Stevenson because I feel like I know what Devin Singletary is and it's not what I want. But to be fair, when he was given all the work, he was good, but they don't want to do that. We know they don't want to do that. And I don't think they'll ever do that unless literally everyone else is unavailable. So, yeah, I'll go Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, I'm going Ramondre there too.
Any thoughts on DeAndre Hopkins?
No, I'm just not interested in DeAndre Hopkins. He's already 30. Like, right. He can actually have him ranked above his ADP. So it's not, he's 94th overall already. So people are not interested in DeAndre Hopkins anyway. But I'm not really interested either. I don't see the point. It's going to be a 6-game suspension and then we'll see what happens. But it's just not, I don't feel like I need to catch the falling knife.
12-team Superflex. Basically, would you take Pickett or Olave?
in looks. They're almost identical to me. But in a vacuum, I'll take Pickett. If I had to choose.
I'd probably take Olave here because it's a 4-point. If it was 6-point, I'd probably take Pickett. I think that 2-point touchdown differential is going to be enough to sway me more towards Olave. So that's kind of the defining thing there for me. Otherwise, it's really
Doesn't
close.
change it for me because the half-point PPR removes point from receivers, so kind of doesn't change my ranks.
I'll take Pickett. Robinson or I was gonna say Devery Henderson. Boy, that's a blast from the past.
Yeah. So
welcome to amnesia.
Reports,
Holy
so the
smokes.
reports out of Washington are that Brian Robinson is a serious threat to Antonio Gibson's work. Now, I don't think that Brian Robinson is going to overtake Antonio Gibson, but I think Brian Robinson is going to get more work than people think. And we'll see what happens long term. Darrell Henderson, Cam Akers is apparently 100% healthy and fully participating in all activities, and he looks like his old self. That's what I've heard. Darrell Henderson is, of course, injured and not participating in anything because why would he ever be participating? So I'll go with Brian Robinson. It's really not close to me.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Robinson there too for the upside of the unknown versus Henderson.
Exactly. I was going to say that.
Yeah, which is what I mean. We know what he is. Healthy is just a pre-injured condition. So
well, Henderson is also just a guy. He's really just not. He's nothing special.
Yeah, they've made it very clear they don't want to give him a full workload ever.
They like Michelle better.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm taking Robinson there for the unknown upside.
Algier or Madison?
Madison.
Algier.
Gordon or Penny?
Penny.
Talk about falling on a knife.
I know.
Probably Penny. I mean, that's a tough one. Probably Penny.
I can't get anything. I have one share of Penny I'm trying so hard to get rid of, and I can't get anything.
Penny just because you saw he was the RB1 over the last 6 weeks. Maybe somehow that happens again.
Tyler,
Gordon
for you, Gibson or Saquon Barkley?
Barkley. It's not Gibson. Gibson is trending in a very dangerous area. I mean, I have Gibson in redraft. He's down at RB20, and that might be too high. He's going to continue to move down if we keep hearing what we're hearing. It's not good. I'll take Barkley.
Barkley looks pretty jacked right now.
Yeah, but it won't help if his knees and ankles don't hold up.
So you guys see my tweet about Barkley the other day? Yeah, everybody saw the picture that went around.
I saw the picture.
Yeah, I posted that same picture next to a picture of comic book version of Juggernaut.
Oh my god,
I love it.
So yeah, I'm taking Juggernaut.
Frank Castle just followed me on or subscribed to me on YouTube.
Awesome. Nice.
That's the Punisher.
What should I ask? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't
that one, I knew.
Yeah.
What should I ask on top of Carr to move off of Trey Lance?
A lot.
Don't do that.
Don't
Mitchell.
do that. Yeah, don't move down from Lance to Carr. I'm not recommending that.
Yeah, I would stick with what you got there.
Yeah.
Especially in a super flex where you can.
I mean, if I could get like Carr and DJ Moore for Lance, I would do it. But
not me. I would need more.
I would do that. But that's the kind of deal I want.
I like to leverage quarterbacks like that, like Trey Lance or any of these rushing quarterbacks. I like to leverage them by having someone that's more of a pocket passer. So you've got floor, you've got upside, and then you've got like kind of a safety valve in the QB too. So yeah, I would stick with Lance there.
Spiller's impact this year. We talked a little bit about him already.
Taking him at 104 is crazy. So
yeah, I wouldn't take him
can't really
close to there.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, don't do that.
Let's see. Past round 20 in a 12-team super flex.
This for me. This is just sign up for my Patreon. The list
tough
will
question.
tell you.
Yeah,
the list will tell you who to sign to draft. Like I could just name somebody, but like it's not like this is why I have my Patreon, because these questions are harder to answer, and it's just The list will tell you. The list will give you the values versus, and you can compare it to the ADP. And this is why I have my Patreon. So, but just randomly, it's hard to say because I have no idea who's on the board. Give me some names if you want me to pick.
Will Fuller. Why not?
Did you say that just because I'm here? I mean,
Will Fuller? I'm not a fan of Will Fuller.
FF Lefty says Claypool down, Pickens up.
Well, I literally just submitted an article about Claypool and Pickens an hour ago or 2 hours ago.
We're still far behind. I'm trying. Jamin,
No. Well, hey, I got a lot of gas in the tank today, so I'm good.
JT, Cousins, and got Eckler, Saquon, Dak, 23 second. What do you think?
I will take. Let's see. So Dak in a 14-team superflex, Dak and JT are about even, and then the rest of it for Cousins, I'll take. I'll take the Dak side.
Yeah, I want JT. I don't feel like this is enough for JT.
Yeah,
No,
I'm kind of thinking along the same lines there. Like in this case, I want another year out of JT.
This isn't even. This is not close to me. This is the Dak side by miles. To me, I mean, to me, this isn't close at all.
It's more that I would be disappointed that I've got like two aging running backs. Dak, who I like Dak. That can be.
I like Dak.
Good. He's not Josh Allen.
No, but in a 14-team superflex, I'm not sure that I would draft JT ahead of Dak.
23 second. I just don't know that I'd be happy about this because, yeah.
14-team superflex.
In a 14-team superflex,
I might draft Dak ahead of JT in a 14-team superflex.
On the clock, I might do the same.
People don't realize what a 14-team superflex.
You are getting Cousins too. I mean, it's not like you're not getting a quarterback.
No, I understand that, but when I'm looking at the value, then I'm looking at the value and I'm comparing. I would rather have Dak over JT in a 14-team superflex, and then, is Cousins I still like in a 14-team superflex, but is he worth Eckler, Saquon, and a 23 second? That seems like even in a 14-team superflex, that seems excessive.
In a 14-team, yeah, I think I could get on board with the Dak.
It is very clearly the Dak side. It is not close for me.
Dak scored 23 more points last year than Kirk Cousins.
23 total.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
I mean, and then
Dak also didn't run it all last year.
I was going to say, like, he's missing the annual 6 touchdowns he scores on the ground, so you got to account for that. A return to the mean would be, anywhere between 4 to 5 touchdowns on the ground. So,
So Dak was pretty good last year.
Hutch says, "Sorry, I'm late to the party. What's up, y'all? What's up, Hutch?
What's up, Hutch?"
AJ probably meant Aaron Jones. Yeah, that's why we have to have like an AJB or something.
You got to give me more than
right. Yeah.
Because AJ, we don't even know which Packers running back it is.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. PJ in the house. What's up, PJ? PJ, of course, just bringing the truth here. Cal, best person. He went from best analyst to best person in the.
Oh, best person maybe, because best person is not me. But
at least this answers the question on who's controlling which questions get on the screen. I think we clearly have deciphered who that is.
We might be running late, but we have time for this.
Hey, it is. Yeah, on my show I control the questions, but on this one I don't.
Nicholas wants to know if you should sell K-Dot, not the news.
Yeah,
trade him for Komet.
Yes, trade him for Komet. Yes.
Yeah, I'd be on board with that. If you can swap him right now for Komet, go get him.
I learned this from the Jacob Harris lesson that these random 4th-round tight ends who get hyped don't always actually become a real thing. So we'll see. But take Komet, of course. Komet had 93 targets last year.
Yeah.
Yes, you did something.
Would you trade Tyreek Hill and Allen Robinson for Higgins in a third or some throw-in?
Yeah, I'll take Higgins there.
Assuming it's T and not Richard.
Well, it had better be. But I'll take Higgins there. And Allen Robinson is not a player that I want at all.
Yeah, I want the Higgins side there as well.
I don't know the rest of this question, Nick. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, here we
Yeah.
go. 10-man super flex. I'm in a rebuild. I offered someone Aaron Jones and pick 204 for J.K. Dobbins, and the Dobbins owner made it out to be the worst trade offer in history. Is this a bad offer?
Mean? No, it's not a bad offer, but I wouldn't accept it. I wouldn't accept it, but that doesn't mean it's a bad offer.
Right.
There are worse things. I've
definitely gotten worse trade offers.
Yeah, this is not the worst trade offer in history.
Yeah.
I bet if you put this in the trade analyzer, it would be pretty fair. But I don't think it's fair. But not a bad offer. Next.
I wouldn't worry about somebody telling you it's the worst offer.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
Honestly, some people would say that no matter what. I remember on Twitter, I don't remember who it was, but I remember on Twitter somebody saying they sent the offer. The person said it was the worst offer. They were so offended. They misread which side
was which. Yeah.
And then still didn't want the trade when they figured it out.
Right. Yeah. That sounds about right. But yeah, no, bring your bad offers to this forum, and I will trash them if necessary.
Ooh, what's the earliest you would draft Deshaun Watson in a startup draft? You're playing productive struggle.
My favorite question.
You know, I can actually give some clarity on this. Let me pull it up. I'm going to grab my phone here because
while you're doing that, I did a long discussion about Deshaun Watson on my show yesterday. It was almost 10 minutes uninterrupted, where I was not interrupted and I kept going and going and going. So you can go back and watch that. It's at the 1.5 hour mark of my show yesterday. But basically, that was before today's hearing where Deshaun Watson met with, he had his hearing with the disciplinary officer, Sue L. Robinson. So she started hearing the case today, and we know that the NFL is asking for an indefinite suspension, which may or may not happen. But if it does happen, then it would be like Deshaun Watson is not an NFL player. And then he'll ask for reinstatement at the commissioner's earliest convenience, which could be, again, whenever Roger Goodell feels like reinstating him, which who knows when that's going to be. So, yeah, I would not draft Deshaun Watson, because if we get into a situation where he's reinstated at Goodell's convenience, that could be never. So I would not, because you saw how long it took Josh Gordon to be reinstated, right? When it was up to Goodell, and that was for marijuana. So if you leave this up to Goodell's earliest convenience, it could be just who knows how many years. So I don't want it. I'm just not going to draft Deshaun Watson. I'll let him be someone else's problem. There are other good players to draft. I don't have to draft him.
In a 12-team Superflex content creator startup that is still ongoing. In fact, I'm on the clock. So if anybody from that league is listening, this is why I haven't made my pick. Anyway, Watson went pick 5-9.
Oh,
5-9.
I would not even be close to touching him at that point.
So that league went heavy quarterback, and it went heavy on quarterback quick. So I could sit down and figure out QB what he went, but it was pretty quarterback heavy up front.
Yeah, like Zach Wilson would have to be gone for me to consider it. Like,
you know what it's time for?
Yeah, we got
it's our weekly siren. Yeah.
Notice how neither one of us had to ask where those noises were coming from.
Yeah, our weekly sirens. Also, I just got a trade offer, but I'm not gonna take it.
Oh, what is it?
I got offered a 2024 second and fourth for my Alec Pierce. I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna be a hard ass.
Yeah, I'm
too far away.
Alex Pierce, yeah.
I like Alec Pierce actually.
So do I.
14 teamer. Do you want Dobbins or Gibson in a 25 first?
You know, actually, I'll take Gibson in a 25 first, because first always hold value, and I'm really not a fan of Dobbins, so I'll take the promise of a loan later on that we know a first will be good eventually. So as weird as this is, I actually will take Gibson in a 25 first over Dobbins. I certainly would never trade my first away. I would never do this trade in the other direction. I don't really like Dobbins. So yeah, I'll take Gibson in a 25 first, even though that kind of seems weird. I will do that in this case.
We got some comments. PJ doesn't like the Tony side of that deal from earlier, and really seems like he is a little more on my side. So we're split in the audience, at least. Scuba Steve, would you tear down from Mixon to Henry as a contender?
What do I get with Henry?
Yeah, that's a vague plus
Because
symbol.
potentially, yes, if I get something good with Henry.
I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what I get. So that's
Yeah, it depends. That's the big question. There is what Henry plus what. So initially, I would say I'm sticking with Mixon, but I need to know what the plus is.
Mixon's really good. Stick with Mixon.
Yeah, I mean, I have Henry ranked higher for redraft, but he's 2.5 years older. So
right,
and he's got a lot more miles on the tires.
There's a lot of miles on him, though. I mean, it's not like I believe Mixon can't. Well, I mean, I can look it up, but I would not be surprised if Mixon had more NFL carries than Henry. Let's see. No, Henry has more.
Yeah, there's no way.
I think it's
more than I thought.
Yeah, I think it's by a considerable margin too, because
Mixon has more targets.
Henry doesn't offer anything in the passing game, whereas Mixon does, so he gets split out of some. So
JT, Amari Cooper, 23 second, or Lamb, Barkley in a first in 23.
Lamb, Barkley in the first.
I think it's got to be because Lamb and a first versus JT in a second is about right, I would say. Like, if you actually look at a startup draft, that's probably what it costs to make the trade. And then Barkley over Cooper. So, yeah, no, it will be the Lamb side.
Happy Taco Tuesday. What does the Owen Taco Tuesday stand for? I'm blanking after Cal. It's Tyler and Cal on Tuesdays. Taco Tuesday. Scuba Steve, I like this is I will always like an Adam Sandler late 90s reference like this.
For sure. For sure. We got an Adam Sandler reference. We got a Homestar Runner reference. This is a good show.
And here's Scuba Steve. Rick Solak, 12 teams, Superflex, 1 PPR, half tight end premium, 0.25 points per carry. Give Mitchell, Dylan, Gabe Davis, Hurst, and get Chubb, Godwin, and Galladay.
Interesting. I will take the Chubb side. I mean, Hurst doesn't matter. Galladay barely matters. I mean, it's more than Hurst. And then, I mean, Chubb over the two running backs, Mitchell and Dylan combined for me. And then Godwin over Davis easily. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't care about Kenny Galladay, but
but it's even a bonus that the better throw-in pieces on that side as well.
Yeah, Chubb and Godwin.
It only makes it even better. So, yeah, Chubb side.
Yep.
Dan Marino chiming in. What's up, Dan?
Welcome, Dan.
Laces out, Dan. Laces out. Let's go back to 90s references here. 12-team start, 10 Superflex PPR, Devonta Smith, Jameson, and a 23 first, 23 third, or Higgins, ETN, and a 23 second.
Let's see. Higgins. This is pretty fair.
I kind of want the Higgins side.
Whenever I'm in doubt, I usually go with the 23 first. But
that was my big hang up.
Choose the Devonta Smith side, Carp.
I'll go with the other side.
Yeah, I'm going with Higgins, ETN, and the 23 second.
Yeah. 12 teams, Superflex PPR, start 13. Wow, that's a lot of starters. DK or Sky Moore and a 23 first.
Not DK. Still.
Yeah, I still want to hold on to DK there.
Yeah, DK.
When are we done holding Jordan Love and Dynasty Superflex?
Honestly, it's to just flat out cut Jordan Love. We're probably a while from now. Like, he was drafted with a first round pick. I can't imagine that I'm going to. He's never had a chance, so he hasn't had a chance to fail. So we're nowhere near the point where I would just flat out cut Jordan Love.
And again, I think we referenced this earlier. Assuming you've got a taxi squad, you plunk them on your taxi squad and just leave them there.
Yeah, because you could get
nowhere near cutting Jordan Love.
If he gets any starts, you could.
If you pull them off a taxi for the one game last year, shame on you. But I guess if you had to, but just plunk them and leave them. You got to hold for now.
Yeah.
Geez, Nicholas, the whole show is going to be answering your questions for hours. Just about. It's kind of right. Ja Webb from the past. You were right. Here is a trade for y'all I recently saw from Hutch here. 12-team Dynasty Superflex PPR, Rashad Bateman, 23 seconds for Michael Pittman and Rashad Penny. Bateman side for me.
Bateman side.
Yeah, it's the Bateman side. And really what it comes down to for me is I don't want to do anything to invest in Rashad Penny right now. Like if I have him, let's play. If I don't, I'm not trying to acquire.
Yeah, I mean, I have Pittman over Bateman, but not by two. I mean, either one of those seconds is worth significantly more than Penny, and then the other one,
right?
Probably really bridges the gap between Bateman and Pittman almost equally to me. So
yeah, so
take that side.
Penny's where you lose the value here, Hutch. So go with the Bateman side.
Missed BJ last week in his questions. Who does he play for? Jake Funk. I'm pretty sure still the Rams, right? I think.
Yes.
All right. I think it's the first one I've gotten to this.
We did miss you. It was weird doing a 2-person show. It'd been a while.
Yeah, it was fun. Okay, took over a clear rebuild. Could drop my whole bench, tax squad, and one flex and be okay with it. I have the 101. Got to sell, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would try. I mean, Brees is 21, so you don't have to, but you could try.
Yeah, I think you're fine taking Brees here, not selling unless
you
you
can
get
try to sell him if
value.
it's super flex. You can try to sell him for Trevor Lawrence or Trey Lance plus, but that's
Sure.
I've seen that occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
So you can try that.
Yeah, I would try to sell too. I'd put some feelers out there, see what you can get.
You can always try. I mean, can you get AJ Brown plus, CeeDee Lamb plus? Maybe CeeDee Lamb plus might be a good one to try.
CeeDee Lamb plus would be. I think that'd be a good stick.
I'd try it at the very least. Try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? I mean,
yeah, and you know what you're getting in Brees, so yeah, I'm with you on that. It's worth a shot.
All right.
102 or Stephon Diggs?
Actually, I'm going to stick with Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I don't think it's enough. I think Diggs is worth more.
Yeah, I'm keeping Diggs there too for the 102.
Yeah,
you know what you've got.
Yeah, to me, Walker is just not enough of a guarantee to
Right.
move on from Diggs. I need more.
Yeah, and I think
I'd
Ricky's
rather
question-
try to target the 104 or something and try to get something else more. I feel like targeting the 102 is actually the wrong move with Stephon Diggs. I try to get because you're more likely to get an additional piece with the 104 than you are with the 102.
I think that now that you say that, I think that would be a better move.
It might be smarter, more tactical. Because
Yep.
I have Walker, Wilson, and London is very similar in value.
Could you switch? Like, I think the way he's phrasing the question is if, like, hey, I'm stacked at wide receiver, but I'm not like Chase and Debo are great. Elijah Moore could be for sure. Could you flip this and maybe try to get like Kareem Hunt for Cooper? Like, if you're worried about your running back position, like just try to switch it up and get rid of Cooper instead of Diggs.
Well, you could get rid. I would try to get rid of Cooper anyway, though. I mean, I would try to get rid of Cooper no matter what else I was doing. Getting rid of Cooper would be a priority for me. So yes, I would be trying to get rid of Cooper, but that's more
or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't want to try to get rid of. No, I don't want James Conner. I'm just saying I just want to get
you don't
rid
want Cooper
of
either.
I don't want Cooper at all. Like, period. I just want to get rid of him.
I see where the guy's coming from.
Is what I'm saying.
But yeah, I would lean that side too and try to keep Diggs and see if you could move Cooper for something that you could turn into another pick. There, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't have enough faith that Kenneth Walker is going to be that guy. So, yeah. I Diggs.
In other words, Cooper and Walker or Diggs and Connor. You'd want Diggs and Connor.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
Patrick, would you trade away Godwin or Judy for Drake London?
I would trade Judy for London.
If you could trade Judy for London, I'd probably
Godwin.
do that. I'd probably hold on to Godwin. So I think we're all in lockstep on that one.
Not Judy. Judy can go. Yeah, he can go away.
23 first or Eckler?
It's Eckler. I mean, Eckler's worth more than that. If you're trading away Eckler, I would implore you to try to do better. If you're a contender,
for him, I tried to trade away Eckler and I couldn't get Tua.
It's hard. It's hard. You're not going to get two. I would try to get a first.
No,
Tua.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I have them similar in value, so with Tua ahead. So I'm not surprised you can get him.
How about the Charger fan?
I'm keeping Eckler here.
Is it worth picking up Danny Gray or Tyler Beatty? Yes.
I'd rather have Tyler Beatty.
I would rather have Beatty too. I was thinking.
Because what's the
same thing.
upside with Danny Gray?
Yeah, there's
Not much.
upside as he gets on the field.
And that's unlikely unless Debo gets traded because Jawan Jennings is, well, way ahead of him.
Right. So Beatty for me.
Yeah.
This is what you should be doing with the bottom of your roster is backup running backs that could increase in value and you could flip for picks later. Jaden Sharp, 12 teams, Superflex, tiered PPR, trying to trade back in a startup from 102. What's the good trade? Got offered 102, 311, and 511 for 27, 37, 47, 23 first, and 24 first. Whoa.
Yeah, yikes. That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
The process. But it's the 207 side easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be getting a good deal, I think.
It
Yeah.
is- Wow. Even when I have all of my energy, like when I'm feeling good, it is hard to answer these questions. Like it's hard. That's one thing I always want the people to know. I know I can make it look easy, but it's hard. It's hard to just like rapid fire answer these questions. But yeah, no, it's sometimes when there's a lot of text, I just get like a little overwhelmed. But yeah, go for it.
Diggs and Michelle for Najee and Judy.
It's redraft. If it's a redraft, then
Redraft.
ooh, okay, that's actually interesting. Well, I would pick Diggs or Najee ahead in a redraft, and then Mitchell, I have it. Yeah, it's gonna be the Najee and Judy side for me. Yeah, I'd rather have the stud running back in a redraft.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that for redraft purposes.
Yeah, gotta be.
Oh, lots of great comments about
We're over an hour behind.
Devonta Smith here, 900 yards in a rookie season with the lowest pass volume is pretty impressive. I agree.
I just wasn't impressed. I wasn't overly
Take
impressed
notes
on
for your article that you're going to write here.
I was
Tyler.
not
This is
overly
good.
impressed on the targets he had, what he did with them. I was not overly impressed. I could have seen better.
Shane Manila wrote good content filled article on the Eagles pass catchers hurts. Eagles. AJ Brown plus what equals CD?
Essentially nothing. AJ Brown and I guess a fourth equals CeeDee Lamb to me. Yeah, essentially nothing. They're in the same tier of value for me. And if you want to know where I have them ranked, I have CeeDee Lamb for redraft as wide receiver 6 and AJ Brown as wide receiver 7 in redraft.
Yeah,
Dynasty,
they're
I have
awfully
them
close.
3 and 4.
FF Lifty says you should be nice and make sure that you are smashing the like button. It makes Addison smile. Jamin pre-draft gave Jacobs, David Montgomery 107, got CMC 105, 205. Yay or nay?
CMC side.
CMC side.
Yeah, CMC
Yeah,
side.
I like the CMC side.
Yeah, it's
there
not even
too.
close.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew Brees watching out
true.
the Chargers.
Not true. He made it through his entire rookie contract and more. He made it through his entire rookie contract and then got another year in 2005. 5 years on the Chargers. We're talking about someone who washed out of the initial rookie contract. So he doesn't count.
You mean like
Josh Rosen, someone who failed to complete their rookie contract with their team because their team moved on from them. Those are and then found a way to succeed elsewhere. Players who did not complete their rookie contract include Dwayne Haskins, Josh Rosen, players like that. Someone who had that career path and then went on to success later. Ryan Tannehill does not count. Drew Brees does not count. They finished their rookie contract. Someone who failed on their rookie contract with team 1 and then found success later with team 2. There aren't even that many players in that pool. But, there is no one really who did that and succeeded. So that's why I'm saying if Justin Fields washes out of Chicago and is traded away, it's grim and bleak.
That's a lot of if, though. You're assuming he gets cut.
It is a reasonable outcome that may happen that people should be pricing into their price of Justin Fields. It should be priced in, and I have it priced in.
Can't imagine it. Lots of
imagine it.
Lots of Breeze and Rivers talk here. Noah Sinaway Amonra. The lion god? No, the sea. What is he? I forget.
Sun god.
Sun god. There we go.
Ra is the sun god. The Egyptian sun god.
Garrett Wilson and 24 first for AJ Brown on a contending lineup. Did I overpay?
Did you overpay? Yeah, I would say it's a slight overpay for me, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, it's not egregious and
slight.
Hey, props to you for using the DLF trade analyzer.
Yeah.
Don't just use the trade analyzer. Here's the big tip. Use the trade analyzer to get kind of an idea of what value is, because value is different by people. Then go and look at the trade finder and see what other people are getting in that same respective area. That's a really good way to do it. Use the analyzer,
trade analyzer,
and then the finder to see what people are actually doing.
The trade analyzer is about the best I've seen a computer do, but I still think it's tough. It's slow. Like the ADP data is only updated once a month. Like keep that in mind and this comes up on Dynasty game night actually a lot when they play a game with the trade analyzer and someone gives an answer and they're like, well, this is probably based on a player who'd moved in value, but the value has not come up in the trade analyzer yet. Just be aware of that.
Right.
Especially with players who've changed in value recently, that it often takes the trade analyzer a couple weeks to catch up. So just, word of caution there.
I don't remember the trade this is for. I just like the idea of Dilly Dilly being AJ Dillon's nickname.
Dilly
I also
Dilly.
like the idea of Najee
No,
Damas.
AJ Dillon is Quadzilla. Quadzilla is AJ Dillon.
I don't know.
Not-
I'm
Najee's
gonna
not
pick Dilly
that
Dilly.
Yeah, I like Dilly Dilly.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not
10
doing
team Superflex Cousins and Madison for Carr and Marlon Mack.
that. Carr.
Yeah, give me Carr.
I'm taking Cousins and Madison there. Madison's probably the best handcuff in the game right now.
You just hate the Raiders, John.
Well, I mean that might play a part of it, but whatever.
I'm kidding. Let's see. Joseph, the answer is best available.
Yeah, best available.
Yep.
Hard to know from here.
Yeah, always list players. List who you're thinking of. Give me players to choose from instead of just
and
asking.
don't go into that. Look at like your rookie drafts. Don't go into that going, well, I need this.
Well,
you take what is best available.
This is a good idea though.
Do that. P to the R. Yeah, try to get
do that one. Yeah, 23 first.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I like that one.
I've seen some people getting pretty good veterans for 109 too here as it gets closer.
That's another.
So.
Yeah, I would try to move out. Would be my first choice.
Mm-hmm. DJ Moore, Elijah Moore.
DJ Moore.
Buck says small trade sent Daryl Henderson and Rondale Moore for Greg Dulcich, 2 23/3, a 24 third, and 2 fifths.
I guess I'll take the Rondale Moore side just in case. But
yeah,
whatever.
It's a whole lot of like nothing on the other side.
That's a lot of ancillary later on stuff that you've got to hope one of those things hits.
Rondale Moore's going to have 6 weeks to show something. So
right. Yeah, I'm gonna lean the Henderson side there too. Henderson Moore.
Nick wants to trade Cup, maybe. Who's a wide receiver to tear down from and get a plus and shoot?
AJ Brown. AJ Brown.
Do you think you could move that? Do you think you can move Cup for AJ Brown plus, or just you think you could get a straight swap?
Yes, I do. Oh, I think you could get plus.
They're going right back in ADP.
If you can't get it with AJ Brown, try DK Metcalf.
What about Jalen Waddle?
Oh, I mean, I would love that.
If I could get Waddle plus, sure.
Yeah, do it.
That's who I think I'd be looking at. Okay. Offer the pick to specific owners. Yeah, just some good. This was a back and forth. Let's see. Yeah, and this Trevon Bulger saying we'll be looking to acquire players, like so veterans with that 109.
No, he's saying that he was acquiring Hurts and Najee.
Oh.
From not a long time ago.
3 possible RB1 overall players, not named JT, Lenny Barkley and Mixon.
Well, 0 of those players can be the RB1 overall. No, there are really 7 players who can be the RB1. Taylor, and then McCaffrey, Eckler, Najee Harris, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, and DeAndre Swift. Those are the 7. So if I had to pick 3 not named JT, it's McCaffrey, Eckler, and probably Dalvin Cook actually has the next highest in the range of outcomes. High end of the passing game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard for Derrick Henry to actually be the RB1. He has to score 25 touchdowns, which is he could do. But.
Catching up. Traded 12-team Superflex PPR, traded London for Jameson Williams and Juju during the rookie draft, and then traded Juju and a third for Mooney. Still questioning myself a little in the. I think there's.
Yeah, I'd rather have London over Jameson Williams and Juju Doo Smith Pooster. We don't want that one. And then Juju and a third for Mooney. I'm fine with that one. That's about even. Probably lean Mooney. But yeah, no, I would have kept London.
I probably would have kept London, but I'm a really big Jameson Williams guy. I'd be a bigger Jameson Williams guy if he had a quarterback.
I'm souring on him slightly, and
I'm
becoming more in on London.
Yeah, I'm hearing some stuff about work ethic and recovery and stuff
I'm hearing
like that.
those things too.
Yeah, that's kind of bothering me, but
he's dropped a little bit in my rankings.
Yeah. So I think
not as high as he was.
It's tough.
So
yeah, I'd probably take Drake London there.
London, I trust more.
Ooh, Gavin, 16 teams, Superflex, Lamar, David Njoku, Chris Evans.
Rest of the question doesn't matter. It's Lamar.
And
16 team Superflex, it's Lamar. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
this is not even close.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, that was
this is the short video.
JCast 12-team 1 QB PPR. Would you trade Tyreek Hill, the 103, for Swift and the 203?
So that's like Tyreek Hill and say for me probably Garrett Wilson for Swift and something else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, according to my ranks, it would say that I would still keep Swift, and I'll probably stick with that. Swift feels wrong, but I think it's Swift.
Get Swifty.
Yeah, probably Swift. We had a lot of references in this episode.
Yeah.
Chat flying like a meteor tonight. If you get this comment, reference. Y'all working too hard. Yeah, there's been a lot of it.
Yeah, it's a Patreon reference. You'll get it if you sign up.
What? Oh, the flying like a meteor?
Oh, you'll have to find out what part of it's a reference.
Oh, Chocolate does follow you, so he's gonna send a hello.
I'm sure he does. I mean,
Burninate the peasants.
Burninate the peasants.
I don't know what this is.
And the thatched roof cottages.
Yeah,
love it.
All right.
Cup for AJ Brown straight up.
No, I'd rather have plus. I mean, I want to try to get plus.
Yeah, if you can get plus, I want plus.
I have AJ Brown higher in Dynasty, but I would like to get plus.
I would go for plus, and if it was a back and forth and we couldn't come to terms, I would still probably settle on walking away with AJ Brown straight up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to fight to get to that point. That's not going to be my initial offer.
I'm very much a hard ass when it comes to negotiating.
Cat Zero hopes you're ready to coach him through a productive struggle there.
I was born ready, so I'm ready.
Nicholas J is not making any friends tonight. People are
he's not making friends. He's not making friends, but that's okay.
Not making friends.
I'll be your friend. I'll be your friend.
But he got his stuff answered.
True.
Yeah, he did. He got it in early. That's the lesson. Is get it in early.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
we do get to them all usually though.
Keenan Allen or Deandre Hopkins.
It's Keenan Allen even without the suspension.
Yeah.
I have Keenan Allen for redraft at wide receiver 9.
He's a consistent PPR guy.
Richard Roundtree would have been better. I don't know what that is. Can't believe that CEH truthers still exist.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Addison was a CEH truther, but apparently signing Jerick McKinnon was too much for him.
I also can't believe that
he's back down.
I also can't believe Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes exist, Joe Webb. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Christian Watson or Rashad White?
Christian Watson.
Yeah, I'm probably leaning Watson there too.
I do like White, but
I do too. So I had to stop and think for a minute, but I think it's Watson.
I like Rashad White. I would just David Johnson and that scheme that is basically the same scheme from Arizona. Rashad White was kind of a David Johnson kind of a guy.
He has
I just
the
love
upside.
the idea. I don't know if it's going to happen. Probably not.
I don't know if it's going to happen,
I
but
just
he
love the
has
idea.
potential upside.
There is potential for sure.
Tino was average, went to Tennessee, became really good. It's just he got away from the worst coach in the NFL.
Yeah, that
he
was
also was in
more-
Miami for 7 years.
Yeah, I don't think. Well,
There is nobody. That's what I was trying to tell you. That's why I've limited to my lifetime. There is nobody who washed out on their rookie contract and then became good later. There is nobody. That's why I'll be beyond. That's why I was out on Josh Rosen after he was traded. You know, that's why I will be out on Justin Fields if he's moved in the same way. I won't have any interest.
I mean, sure, but I feel like assuming that's going to happen with Fields at this point is.
I didn't say I was assuming, but you have to price. Look. The Bears are one of the worst teams in the NFL. They're one of the worst teams.
Crazy.
What is the Bears over under? What is the Bears over under on their win total? How bad is it?
Oh, I haven't even looked.
I mean, they're one of the
looking at that
worst.
to make their decisions.
They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. I mean, 6.5 games. I mean, that is terrible. I mean, that's one of the worst teams in the NFL. So it is very much in the range of outcomes that they could have a top 3 pick. And it's something you have to, if it's in the range of outcomes, it's something you have to factor in. Now, I'm not valuing him there. I still haven't valued, as, at 30th overall in Superflex. That's still decently high. But that prices in a big downward risk. And that's what you have to do. You have to price in the whole range of outcomes. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have washing out after year 2 in his range of outcomes, but Justin Fields does. So you have to price them differently. That's why they're priced differently. That's all. I don't think that's unreasonable.
London or Diggs?
Diggs.
Still big.
Kyle Pitts is burner.
Ooh, Kyle Pitts.
Chimes
Welcome.
in.
Welcome.
Best tight end in football.
Yeah, if you know what's good for you, declare yourself a wide receiver.
Frank Castle on Daredevil was awesome. Yes, he was.
Yeah, I have not seen that.
Well, I don't know what this is.
You're not making any friends, Nicholas. Chad is roasting you, bro.
I like Nicholas's questions. We're getting to all of you guys. We're getting to it.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
we got it this time.
12 team Superflex give Justin Herbert and Mike Williams
Easy
plus
question.
a 23 second. Get Kyler Murray and Breece Hall and a 23 third.
I hate to pick against one of my favorite players in the NFL, but I'll take Kyler Murray and Breece Hall.
Ooh, can you do it? Can you do it, John?
You have to.
Come on, man.
You have to, though. You know you have to.
I know. I'm staring
like
at the same thing. Like, yeah, I don't.
You don't like it, but you have to, and you know that just as well as I do.
What if that was a
Moving on.
23 first?
That would make it much tougher. But I would.
If on the Herbert side,
Yeah.
that would
That would
be
make it
enough to
tougher.
move me.
I'd still
Yeah,
take the
me
other
too.
side, but that would be a lot tougher.
Me too. Okay. Robert, 12 team non-Superflex PPR traded Andrews, Devonta Smith, AJ Dillon for Goddard, Waddle, Moore. DJ Moore.
I mean, if it's
Waddle and Moore.
Yeah, Waddle and Moore. If there's no premium or anything like that, yeah, it's easily that side. Waddle's worth more than Andrews if there's no premium, and then Moore's worth more than the other two combined. Not even with Goddard. So
Yeah, I'm going with that one too.
Oh, back to our JT and Dak conversation.
Yeah, so I'm
Dak
not
at
crazy.
107,
yeah, I'm not
JT
crazy.
at 203. That's the way I would probably draft too, but
Yeah,
let's see.
In a 14 teamer, yeah.
yeah. I'm not. I mean, I said I would take Dak at 107 there. I don't think that's crazy.
Right.
So we agree.
12 teams, Superflex, Tyreek in a 23 second for
Yeah. Okay.
Allen Robinson, Mike Williams
Yeah,
in a third. No, we're not that.
No, I like this
There
one.
you go.
Yeah,
Come
take
on.
Tyreek there. Take Tyreek there for sure.
That's
easy one.
that's too far.
Next.
Okay, what video games do y'all play?
I don't. This is
Stefan,
I'll play
who's
video
girlfriend
games
after
when I
this?
feel like it, but I don't play a lot of video games.
I
I
play a
wish I
little
could.
Call of Duty. I play Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, nice.
Some
I'm
of the
too
games
busy- I'm too
I play
busy
some of the
creating
Pokemon
content.
games. So
I'm too busy
It's-
creating content for people. I don't have time for video games.
yeah, it's not the I
People
don't
demand
spend-
people demand more Tyler. They don't have time for me to play video games.
Yeah, I don't get to spend the same time that I used to playing games, but when I do have time to sit down and unwind, those are the kind of my go-tos.
MLB The Show.
Oh, I used to like that one.
Yeah.
Flowosaurus says probably won't get answered. Shows how
Well,
much you know.
no, it is getting
Flowosaurus.
answered. Let's go.
That's why you're extinct, dinosaur. No kidding. But all good at Slade. But if I don't think I'm contending in 2022, should I sell Pittman for an early 23 first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can move Pittman for a 23 first, I'll do it.
I'll do it. Yeah.
Even if it's a mid first.
If it's super flex, yeah.
Probably
I
a
can get a
late
quarterback.
one, actually.
Yeah.
Hollywood plus what equals Godwin? Nicholas, you're not making friends here. I'm gonna have to
Probably
cut you
like
off.
a second, but next.
No.
Next question.
What do you think, John?
I answered it. Like a second. Next question.
Yeah, if I
Rapid-
could, if
we're
I could
rapid
dump a
firing.
second in there, yeah, I would say that would do it for me.
We're rapid firing.
10-team Superflex Lamb for Tua and a 23 first.
I get that a 10-team Superflex makes quarterbacks a little bit less valuable, but I'll still take Tua in the 23 first.
Me too.
Closer, though. And a 12-team Superflex would easily be Tua in the 23 first.
Yeah, in a 12 team and a 10 team, I'd be tempted by the Lamb side, but it'd probably still end up defaulting to Tua.
It's very
in the
fair, but
first.
I'll take the Tua side.
Right.
Oh, we're catching up fast.
Yeah.
Ryan says, make sure to sub to the channel and follow each of them on Twitter. If you don't,
Follow
these are high-quality
Ryan on
people giving high
Twitter.
quality advice.
Ryan's my co-host.
Ryan's
with
awesome.
Me and Conan.
Go follow him too. James Baum, 10-team, 1 QB, recently traded 101 and 24 second for 102, 107, and 205.
I would have. I mean, 102 could be Walker, and then 107 would be Olave, and then 205 is whatever. 24 seconds is similar to 205, maybe a little less. But honestly, if you didn't, depending on if you got Treylon Burks or Jameson Williams at 107, I'd like it better. If you didn't, and you ended up with Olave, I'd rather have kept Hall.
I probably would have. I probably would have kept the 101 there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you got Treylon Burks or Jameson Williams at 107, if they fell to you, then I would like that.
If I knew I was getting Burks at 107, that would probably even things out for me a little bit because you're walking around with Ken Walker and then following that up with Treylon Burks. I'd be all right.
Yeah, Ken Walker.
Ken Walker. See, I made
Ken.
the adjustment.
Ken.
I'm
All
up
right,
to date.
next.
Joe, dang, everyone's here. Yep. We're all
Yep.
here, Joe. Now that
Well-
you're here, it's a party. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate you
Yep.
tuning in. Silence of the Lamb says,
Yep.
hey, Joe. Joe Wayman
No.
traded Tyrion Burks. I don't know, Treylon Burks for
Yeah.
Renfro and a second round rookie pick next year. Reports of him having problems with his asthma.
Burks.
Does anybody get the feeling, like I think this has been mentioned on Twitter too, like the Treylon Burks asthma out of shape thing is this year's version of Jamar Chase can't handle NFL footballs?
No, I don't feel that way. I've lowered Treylon Burks in my rankings, but just not this much.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about Burks.
Oh, I am.
I'm not worried about Burks either.
But I was never that in on Burks to begin with.
Tyler Beatty or Terrace Marshall?
Terrace Marshall.
Tyler Beatty.
Terrace Marshall has more upside. But Terrace Marshall's actually been starring at camp. And, we'll see. I mean, the second-year breakouts happen. They're rare,
do.
but they do happen.
They do.
I'm not, but you'll know very quickly. I mean, you'll know in the first 2 or 3 weeks. If he doesn't do it, then it's over. But,
right.
I'd rather have Terrace Marshall. He was actually a good prospect. Whereas Tyler Beatty is let's be kind and say he's not, because that's kind. I could say what I wanted to say.
Final roster spot in a Superflex league: Kyle Allen, Carson Strong, Marquez Callaway, or Tyler Johnson.
Can you go with none of these? But
Right, what are the other options?
yeah, I don't even know. I mean, do I even of these players? The only one I actually have ranked is Marquez Callaway.
I was going to say that's.
But so I guess that's the direction I'm leaning.
Find a backup.
Definitely not
running-
Kyle Allen or Tyler Johnson.
Find a
Carson
backup running
Strong's-
back somewhere. Any backup running
Yeah,
back.
any backup running back would be better. But if this is the
Yeah.
list, I'm going Marquez Callaway from this list. Marquez Callaway was not awful last year. We did this one already.
Yep. 101 for Adams and a first in 23.
Yeah, if you're competing, I don't hate it.
Right.
I don't hate it. You get Adams to help you compete
took
this
over.
year, and then you get a 23 first to either make up for losing the 101 or to trade for next year. I mean, the value is with Adams and the 23 first overhaul.
Right.
For sure.
LaVisca, Chenault, and Ramondre Stevenson, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Clyde.
LaVisca and Ramondre.
Clyde.
Ooh. I go Clyde.
I'll
I
go
don't
Clyde.
think Visca or Ramondre or anything.
I just think Ramondre is just there's no hope. Whereas Clyde, there is a bizarro universe in where he's actually good. Whereas Ramondre, it doesn't matter if he's good. He won't be good for fantasy anyway.
Also
Visca's
seeing
nothing.
some really good stuff about Visca out of training camp recently.
Oh, I mean, Visca is gonna see the another team because there's no room for him. How is he gonna get on the field? I mean, they with the money that they paid Kirk and Zay Jones, and then Marvin Jones is still there. Visca, I think this is like Denzel Mims is hype. We're giving him hype so we can trade him away. I don't buy it for 1 second. They're done with Visca.
Maybe not.
Dalvin Cook, Gerald Everett, David Njoku, and a fifth for 104.
No, they're done with Visca. It doesn't mean that Visca's done in the NFL, but they're done with Visca.
A 104 and a 23 first.
It's the Walker side, easily. It's a bunch of crap.
If you can, I would agree with that. If you can get a 23 first back for an aging Dalvin Cook right now, I'd do that.
With Walker, it's Walker side easily.
With Walker, yeah.
Keontae Ingram or Tyler Beatty?
Tyler Beatty for me.
Beatty.
Yeah, Beatty.
Let's talk Kittle trades value.
There's nothing to talk about with George Kittle. He is what he is. He's 28 years old, turning 29 early in the season. I have him ranked around his ADP. He's probably going to produce again. He's going to be somewhat inconsistent. We all know that. And I feel like everyone values Kittle that way. So Kittle is a player where we never talk about him. And I feel like there's almost nothing to talk about. To be like, that's my opinion on George Kittle, to be honest.
What about the annual upside talk?
I mean, I have not heard that on any podcast I've listened to. I rarely hear George Kittle even mentioned. It's like he's there. We know what he is. That's always the conversation. So I don't. There is nothing to say. He's one of those players where I feel like all the takes I've heard are the same.
Yeah, if you can sell him based on name value being higher than what production value is, then
but you can't you can never get the value for George Kittle that he should bring. So he's never moved. He's never talked about. And I honestly think that that's the right approach. He just stays where he is most of the time on the team he exists on.
Okay, so Trade Finder has a couple. So George Kittle, Darrell Henderson for Christian Kirk, Elijah Moore, and Irv Smith.
That's about right. More or less. I mean, is it tight end premium? Doesn't say. It's hard with the tight end trades from Trade Finder if it doesn't say, because it usually makes the difference.
It doesn't appear to. No.
Okay, so then I'll take Elijah Moore.
Yep, I agree. George Kittle or T.J. Hawkinson and Jahan Dotson.
T.J. Hawkinson, Jahan Dotson.
Yeah, I'd probably
very close though.
The Dotson side there too.
10 team Superflex League, Sky Moore, and a 23 first for Debo or Higgins.
I'd rather have Higgins, and I'd rather have either Debo or Higgins over that package though. So I'll take the player.
Yep.
Appreciate the knowledge.
Thank you.
Rick, you guys are solid for pushing through and going this long. Look, John's doing this like at less than 100% too. John is like a real champion.
Yeah, this is the first time I've had like even 50% of what I have, and I feel like So it's been a while. I've done at least 5 to 10 shows over this year that I should not have done, but I feel 100% now.
I am going to absolutely collapse when this is done. By the way.
Oh, I'm good. I could do another 4 hours.
Oh, not me.
I could. No, I really could. I feel like I have a lot of gas in the tank.
Tonight has been a meteor shower. I don't know what that means.
Thank you. Another Patreon reference.
Like, produce good content and be kind on Twitter. Don't take anybody down. Don't go aggravate people. 12 teams Superflex. Okay. 102, 105. Brevin
Lance
Jordan or Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Yeah.
Lance side easily. Yeah. We don't need to stop down on that one.
Yeah. Superflex.
Okay. Sometimes it's easy. Yeah.
He says, thanks, guys. Great show. If I didn't get to
Aw.
your question, hit us up on Twitter. We're at almost 2.5 hours. Thank you guys so much. Tyler, any last words?
No, I just want to appreciate everyone for watching the show. Thanks for bearing with me over the last, I would say, 2 to 3 months where I've really been going through just kind of a mess in my personal life. But I feel, at least as of now, I feel 100%. And I have my Dynasty Outhouse approved nail polish. So, yeah, no, I'm great. So just thanks everyone for sticking with me, continuing to watch the show. And, hopefully this is the Tyler you get as we go into the season. Things start to heat up.
John?
As always, appreciate you guys having me on. I always enjoy these. Talk about, a way to keep sharp is working with people that are smart. And this is always a blast, always good questions. So I got a few things in the pipeline. I've got an article that I'm working on right now about statistics that won't repeat for the 23 season. I'm really, really excited about doing a lot of research on it. So be looking for that to drop sometime in the next few weeks. Other than that, yeah, as always, appreciate the follows, the views, the comments, the questions. Lots of fun every time.
And with that, we will see you guys on the next